I don't care if you've been loving Black Red Dead the movie all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, the Doodoo Spicy, coming to you live and direct from the pizza. Smoke me out, fam, with all that dang shit on my left. Your boy Blue.
To quote a famous line I heard this week, they say life is short, but it's the longest life, or it's the longest thing you ever experience.
Very nice, very nice. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on threes and fours. Chronos.
Gaze upon me, ye lowly civilians, and I don't know, praise me or some shit. It's fucking Veterans Day. I'm just saying. And yesterday was a Marine Corps birthday, so it was like, bam, bam, get drunk, and maybe probably get drunk again. Yeah, that's how it works when you're a Marine, because the Marine Corps birthday comes first, and then you can celebrate the veterans.
There you go.
Nice.
Veteran shirt. I'm just saying. Veterans for Yang.
Veterans for Yang.
I'm still with that dude.
Yang gang.
Very nice. We got no old ninja. He's out
there reaping
his parole officer or whatever. And Stitch might be in the wind. He may show up. We don't fucking know. We're up in here though.
You know.
Oh yeah, we don't
know shit.
we on that real CP time.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
This is a weird week.
Yeah, sorry, it's Thursday, but yeah, yesterday happened to fall on the Marine Corps birthday, and last year we did a thing where we did like a virtual Marine Corps birthday party thing where because it was COVID. I mean, we're still in the COVID times, but last year is when we first started doing it, and my boy Laguna started like a virtual drinking party, and we had a lot of fun. That's where I met Papa Bear, who I now podcast with, and I asked if we can do it again. Like, let's have a bunch of other, Marines on and drink and just have some fun. And last night we had a lot of fun. Papa Bear passed the fuck out. It was great. I saw him going down like the fucking Hindenburg. Like the Hindenburg. I saw his body just kind of flop. And he looked, his eyes were still open, and I could tell he was like questioning his life choices. And I was like, "Hey man,
wait.
You might need some water."
What were y'all drinking?
wait. Did he go super blue drunk, or was he like ultra instinct drunk?
Well, I think for him, yes, because I've never heard him curse so much. Because like he started cursing, I was like, "Oh, he does actually use curse words." And then I saw like the signs of like he was drunk. And we're like, yeah, maybe get some water. And then he got some water, and then he got some couch and passed.
Oh shit! He went super Papa Bear.
How were y'all drinking the vodka?
He was drinking Screwball.
Beer?
He was drinking. I think when he started his Screwball, which I'm going to hold it up for people that are watching the podcast. Which is a peanut
that
butter
thing is
whiskey.
dangerous.
And I don't know what he started with. It seemed like it was almost full, and it was down less. It was like a couple shots left in the bottle, and he was drinking some Trulies too. So yeah, he knew what he did to his body.
See, I was gonna. So yeah, I know on Facebook you posted up the hangout for it. Not hang. What?
It's like
Google
Meets.
Meets.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Google calls it now. Google Meets. And I was gonna join it, but I was like, I'm not worthy.
Yeah, it's Marine.
Yeah, I was not worthy, but I just wanted to join it to drink. I mean, I just needed a reason.
I mean, honestly,
I don't really need a reason.
We could do like a
fan
drink
cast in a while.
We haven't. The last broadcast I had a bad. I was worse than what Papa Bear was on the last one. But yeah.
We should do that.
We
do a drinking event with the fans.
Yeah. Just have a day and we just have a night and we just drink and have fun.
Now, should we record it? Like, should it be like an actual podcast, or should it just be like just shooting the shit? Because I think that might be fun on its own.
No, let's just shoot the shit. No, we don't have to record. That way, if there's mistakes, we some shit talked, whatever.
You might have to fix that in post.
Delete 80% of the video of the audio that was recorded.
Yeah, when I did the thing last night, I was like, should I record this? And I was like, no, I'll just let it go because there was with a bunch of Marines, we're gonna say some shit that is it's not gonna be PC. And even me and my new, I hate to say woke, but at least semi enlightened mind of like I try to like not tread on feelings, but there fuck that. If it's around a bunch of Marines, I'm still gonna bullshit. I won't say certain things still, but I will let some certain things go. There were some words that were used, and I was just like, yeah, you can't say that. Like, not anymore. You know what I mean?
So it was a safe space.
Yes, yeah, definitely a safe space. But we also had, like, after a while, after we've been drinking, there was a guy that came on. I wrote down his name. I won't say it on here, but he was a really interesting dude. And we started getting to, like, some philosophical shit of, like, the Marine Corps and, like, how people should learn. And, like, the dichotomy of, like, the Marine Corps being, like, so rigid and, like, you know, the way we do things, but also having the adage of, you know, adapt and overcome. But it's like, you don't adapt and overcome in the Marine Corps because you have this rigid mindset of, like, you only do things this way. And it's like, it's really weird. And we had a really great conversation. We need to do a podcast on that to, like, talk about learning and adult learning especially, and how we actually teach the new generation of, specifically Marines, probably, like, the vast majority of the armed forces, but Marines especially, because, you know, it's the hardest branch to get into. And I think that the way that we still teach Marines is a problem. But that's where having Papa Bear is really cool, because he literally, that's his job, is to teach Marines, and he's trying to, like, right the ship. And and he's trying his damnedest, but he's hitting, like, all these roadblocks, you know.
And he's recovered and everything just fine today. Like, he's been,
yeah, he's not gonna land
still alive, right?
Yeah. I sent him a message, like, after he, like, didn't come back, and I was like, "Hey man, you okay?" And then, like, early this morning, well, early my time, sort of, it was like 6 something in the morning. He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." I passed on the couch.
That makes me think of the last drunk cast, because, like, we were hella drinking, and, like, so the way, if you'd missed that episode of the drunk cast, basically you paid for us to drink, and some people came in hard. They're like, "Look, we want you to drink," and I literally was on the floor drinking. Like, I was laying on the fucking floor. I was drunk as fuck. But no, so one of the things too is that I brought back. So I made this habanero vodka, and I took it to it was one of our ethnic food nights, and I had a lot of people yelling at me. Well, apparently I still had a couple of shots left, and it was probably like a good maybe 8-9 years since I made that shit. I was like, all right, I'll drink it and see how it is, and that shit was still spicy as fuck. But yeah, that shit did your boy in, and plus all the other drinks.
I think Devil Tank, also a Marine, he had a mission that night, and it was to
he
definitely disrupt the podcast, and his mission was accomplished that night.
Yeah, it was.
Because I left and did not come back.
That's true. Yeah,
my pancreas
disappeared too.
I was drunk, obviously, but I wasn't drunk enough to, like, not talk. Like, I still talk, you know, but my pancreas went on revolt that night, and it was because I had too much of the fucking screwball, which also I think because there's too much sugar in this for me to drink a lot of, and my pancreas was just like, hey, you're done for the night, and you're gonna be screaming in the bathroom for the next hour or so, and that's what I did. And then I'd have Kaep come in and shut it down.
Yeah, she did. I remember she came out, and I think she texted me to ask me how everything's done, but I was done too, so she was texting on deaf ears.
Yeah, that was a fun conversation. Yeah, because it was like, how do I do this? Pull the plug. I don't know.
Turn the internet off. I don't fucking know.
pull the cable out the wall. Flip shit.
God damn.
That was all right, just kind of reminiscing too. Like, I can't wait to do, like, another cigar night. Like, I'm not a big smoker, but cigar nights were a lot of fun with the podcast. Like, outside of, like, doing, like, Comic-Con stuff like that, cigar night was just a chill fucking night. Like, you just hanging out with the boys. The place we went to, Aloni's in Fremont, like, you get to bring your own liquor and just hang around, smoking some great cigars, just fucking chilling.
It's so
that place is great.
It's so goddamn manly.
It is. Seriously. Like, even if you're smoking like a fruity cigar, like, even that just fucking feels dope.
You know what it feels?
Real quick, Colbert elaborated. He did, in fact, drink the entire bottle of Screwball.
Shit.
So yes, that will definitely put most people down.
Yeah, no shit. But for the cigar lounge, it feels like a modern day, like, speakeasy, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you got this you're into this club that's, like, for members only, even though it's not quite like that. They're welcoming to everybody. But you go in there and it's well ventilated, which is surprising for a cigar lounge. Yeah. And then you just chill with the guys. There's sports on TV. There's cards if you want it, or you just fucking chill and smoke. And it's just one of those events, or one of those things that You never know who's going to show up, but we always have a fucking great ass time, man. I miss those. So,
yeah,
yeah.
honestly,
Plus,
we could do that. I mean, honestly, we could do it in the Infinity base. Just hang out and have. Well, actually, fucking Prodigy can't now, but I have to like figure out a way to ventilate it better. I have windows and doors, but yeah, it'd be cool to just like hang out and just chill and drink some whiskey and smoke some cigars.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it'd be. What was I gonna say? I saw this thing earlier to make your own like makeshift fucking air purifier, and basically use like 4 different filters, like air filters, and you put a fucking box fan on top, and it sucks air through all 4 of the filters, and sucks into the fan and like purifies the air. Yeah. And apparently it's like better than anything you can buy in the fucking store.
Wow,
which is crazy.
Hey, I know Old Ninja usually does like the RIPs and everything. The one, and we'll save most of them, I think, for next week because he is pretty good at it. That's the one thing we'll give him credit for. But it's Dean Stockwell, right?
I gotta pull it up. We're switching gears. It is Dean Stockwell. Would you like me to
so Quantum Leap.
Because you're on your phone. Would you like me to?
Yeah. I was just going to really quickly say we all know him, or most of us know him, from Quantum Leap way back in the day. And then where I got reintroduced to him was on Battlestar Galactica. And he was one of those Cylons. Calvin? I can't remember what number that was.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But let me...
well.
I can actually... I can read what Ninja types. So usually Ninja types up like a whole thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
For IP, so I'll read...
He does his homework.
Yeah, I'll read in his words. So Dean Stockwell, born Robert Dean Stockwell, who had a 7-decade career in Hollywood. He appeared alongside Frank Sinatra and Gene Kelly before he was 10 in the 1940s. Wow, that's amazing. He started out in Broadway along with his brother Guy Stockwell at the age of 7. By the age of 16, he already had 19 films. He would go on to amass more than 200 film and television acting credits from 1945 to 2015, as well as occasional stage roles. In 1988, he was nominated for an Oscar performance in Married to the Mob. The next year, he was cast in Quantum Leap, which most of us know him for. Older folks, I guess. He would go on to be nominated 4 times for an Emmy for Best Supporting Actor for his work in Quantum Leap. He would appear in Jag, which is another great show, and portrayed John Cavill on Battlestar Galactica. He retired from acting in 2015. Some of his selected geek credentials, geek credentials, included Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. He was the voice of Tim Drake. The Langoliers.
I did not know that.
The Langoliers, which is like an older kind of, not indie movie, but most people haven't. I've seen that movie, but most people haven't.
Balky's in it.
Yeah, Captain Planet and the Planeteers. He was the voice of Duke Nukem. Wow,
what?
That's amazing. And Quantum Leap, and also Battlestar Galactica. He died of natural causes at the age of 85.
Damn, that's fucking crazy.
That's way more respectful than what we were like just bullshit with. But
yeah, he was in Quantum Leap, and he was just that guy that had the fucking calculator in his hand and just push buttons trying to figure out what the fuck, what's the name. The reason why he was there.
We could have done it like the black weatherman in Family Guy. He did some things and died.
Yeah.
That's what we might have done.
God damn it. I did fucking love him on Battlestar, man. Yeah. That shit was just impressive. He did this one speech that he was like angry at being made, and he was like, I want to be able to see X-rays and see gamma rays and cosmic rays and all this other stuff, and I can't because I got this humanoid looking body, and it gives me chills. It's only like 2 minutes long.
I need to go back and rewatch Battlestar Galactica and hopefully get Kaep back into it, because man, this is one of the greatest sci-fi shows of all goddamn time, and I say that knowing of all the great sci-fi shows and movies that are out there, but hands down, BSG in like the 2000s or whatever, god damn, it was good.
You know what? I've only seen like 2 episodes of Battlestar Galactica, and that's the first original cut, like the second version that they released. I've seen like a few episodes of that. I would just remember the girl in the red dress. That's the only thing that keeps popping my head whenever I hear Battlestar Galactica. But I feel like my geek card would be taken away if ever I like go to a panel like, oh, Battlestar Galactica, like that reminds me of this. I'm like, I never saw that episode. We're like, boo!
Yeah.
Get that off the stage.
It's gonna be that one girl from Fanime throwing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Say his name right, goddammit!
So, wait, quick little thing. So at work, there's this program that we use for granting people access, and it's called the All-in-One tool. Every time I'm working on it, I'm like, God, I constantly keep thinking of this chick is haunting my days now. Every time I'm like working on something, because it's the all-for-one tool, and I'm like, God damn it, it's all might, not all mighty.
I bet you like when she has bad days, she goes to sleep and she's like, you know what, I still fucked that dude up in that conversation.
You know what, if she listened to this podcast, if I ever run into her, if we're ever at a panel again, I think every time we do a panel, I'm going to be like, hey, look, we did an anime panel, the girl who called me out for Almighty. I need to know who you are, because I need... Damn it. And next week, whenever we're doing a panel, I'm going to start off with, there was a girl who called me out for calling Almighty. You know what? I'm going to have a coffee with you. Like,
Yes.
I want you, I need closure. I need closure. Because you're haunting my fucking dreams, and I need it to stop.
Holy shit.
I need it to stop.
That shit is still funny.
It
is, man.
It's not going to get old.
It is.
I mean, we all make
The
mistakes.
fact that even after she told me, I just kept on fucking saying it. Like, fuck what you heard. It's Almighty.
All right, hold on. I get to the normal things we talk about before the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Start us off.
Is listener of the week would be holy shit. All right, Husu. I'll say Husu. Thank you very much for listening. We appreciate it. If you're wondering, if you listen a bunch on the podcast and you're wondering why you don't get a shout out, I can only give you a shout out as like a top listener if you listen through SoundCloud. I'm not saying where to listen. I don't give a fuck where you listen. All your listens matter to me. But I can only see like your username if you listen through SoundCloud. Everything else is just like some great nebulous thing that I can't see. But I can see that you listen. I just can't tell your name.
There you go.
So it's fine. And actually, the first in the chat will be Papa Bear. He survived. He's good to go. And you know, he's first in there.
He's got a Wolverine-like liver. Shout out to him.
All Marines.
You know, another way you can be shout out on the podcast too is that hit us up on Twitter. Like we have @BeTheMTIs, and it's been a while since we had like somebody post up a question saying like, hey, I gotta, my wife said that my penis is small. What should I do about it? Like we'll answer any kind of @BTI question that's appropriate, because there was one or two that we were like,
nope,
nah, we ain't fucking with that one.
And if that is your question, gas station dick pills, Ultra 9000.
Well, that just makes it harder.
Yeah, well, that's all you got. You know what I mean?
Well, in that case, they do make things as like a sheath that you can put a thing over your dick. So.
Yeah.
Well, that actually brings me up to a question I was gonna talk about. That Prodigy fucking that posted up the fucking was like the Balldo.
Which one?
Oh, I saw that. It was like you put like it's like a apparatus you put around your balls.
Oh yeah.
You can fuck a girl in the pussy and the ass for the Balldo in the.
No, so
Yeah.
I looked it up, and so basically what it is, it's basically you. So apparently your balls are like super sensitive, and you basically strap on this Balldo.
Nobody knows that.
You don't know that?
Yeah.
But no, I'm just saying like your dick is sensitive, but your balls are extra sensitive to stimulation. This is based off of the company, right?
I mean, not the company.
But like
these are based on facts.
So let me finish the story, and you can understand what I'm talking about. So like the Balldo goes over your balls, and it gives you a second dick, but you don't need to use your original dick to have sex with a female. So you basically your balls are squished into the dildo. So like your balls are when you stick this dildo into a female's body, your balls are going into her tube. So your balls are getting stimulated from the insertion into her vagina. So like you get this secondary like sensation of having sex, and it's. When Prodigy posted this up on Facebook, I was like, "What the fuck is the fucking balls on?" I like went through their site, And I read the article. I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, how the hell does this work? And like, you literally stick your balls into this fucking dildo, and you use that dildo to go into the woman's vagina. It's not into her ass. That's not how it works. It goes into her vagina, and like, apparently your balls are sensitive, so it will get you off, even though your penis isn't erect. And I've been wanting to ask you this question for like the longest time. So it's been like about a month since you posted this, but what the fuck, man?
I don't know where I found it either.
it's the weirdest shit I've ever fucking saw or even heard of. But like on their ad, it's like, oh, you don't even have to be hard to get her off or something like that. I was like, wait, what the fuck am I reading?
Well,
but
it's
weird. It's fucking weird, man.
It's one of those things where like, you know, there's taboo things with sexuality that we still have today, and it's very strange. Like people like they think it's funny or just gross or whatever, but it's like however you want to get off, as long as you're not hurting somebody else. And even sometimes if you're hurting somebody else, if it's consensual, then it's fine, because some people like pain. So
I'll add one more thing. To that, as long as there are adults involved.
Yeah, adults. Yeah, consenting adults.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
so,
people are just so used to like this very sort of vanilla take on sex in general. Go ahead, Blue.
So I just went to the website real quick just to make sure I was reading what I read. So there's 3 steps to using the Balldo. You can look this up too. It's balldo.com. So the first step is to shave your balls and to lube them up. Second is that you strap your Balldo over your balls. And then step 3 is stretch over the spacer ring, insert into your partner. Like those are the 3 steps on how to use it.
There you go.
First step, you get a box. Second step, you cut a hole in the box.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like SNL thing, the dick in the box.
But sorry, I've been like wanting to bring it up for like the longest time, but yeah,
Balldo.
It's in case Viagra doesn't work. I don't know.
Use your balls. Where did you want to go first, Kronos?
Oh shit! Let me
Where do you
look
go
up
from there, man?
That was interesting. Let's talk about
a hell of a segue. You want to do the harder they fall, or
yeah, let's talk about motherfuckers. God damn! All right, this episode.
Wait, Project, have you finished it?
I haven't finished the whole thing, but please go ahead. I like it so far. I'm like over halfway through.
So we're probably gonna call this episode Black Excellence because this movie was so fucking good. I'm just saying. Let me just make sure I can write that myself.
I hate westerns. I'm not a huge fan of western movies, but this one, man, this shit had me fucking in my chair, just planted.
Yeah, even Kaep was really enjoying it as well. But she's also how do I put this? She's not biased, but she's been like totally like awakened into like issues and like not. And she's way more receptive on seeing black culture now than she was. Like she's watching what is that show? It's on Netflix. She loves it. I think it's Dear White People.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even watch it. And she's like, I think she's almost caught up to like everything. And I'm just like, I'm glad you like it, but I've never watched a single episode. I mean, she fucking loves that shit. Like she goes above and beyond to like educate herself on issues that now can directly affect her because of me and her daughter. So anyway, we're watching this. We both loved the show. Like, first of all, the cinematography was so well done. Like the shots they were using, the setup on the scenes, the dialogue they were using. All the actors did a fucking fantastic job. The throwbacks, the Easter eggs to black culture were so good, and the fact that they tell you right in the beginning that these are based upon real people, but these are not real events. And so I had to watch a YouTube video like, well, who the fuck were these people? So and they are all real people, and yes, they might have embellished upon some of their stuff, but some of the times they didn't embellish enough on like what they did. Like Stagecoach Mary, like they can do it. Basically, they can do an entire movie, probably series, or at least TV show series on every single character in the movie, and it's watchable. So I loved it. What did you guys think?
Yeah, just piggybacking on that. And again, I haven't finished the whole thing, but Delroy Lindo plays the marshal from
Oh yeah.
what was it, from the Watchmen show? Remember, what was his name in this one though? God, I'm blanking on the name. He's the marshal though.
Yeah.
The famous
homeboy from Gone in 6 Seconds, right?
Yeah, the same guy. But anyway, he's a famous U.S. marshal. Kronos is looking it up.
Yeah. So Delroy Lindo, he was a Boss Reeves.
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves.
Yeah. So. Yeah, badass. Really great to see that. We saw a little bit of that in, I think, the HBO's Watchmen, like, I don't know, 2019, 2020, whatever it was. But it was just fun to see that. You see Stagecoach Mary. You got some other characters that I'm, like, kind of a little bit familiar with or I've heard of, but I've always been, like, disappointed that we never got to see very many of them on screen. Yeah. But this kind of puts it all together. It sounds like you also, at least in the beginning, have some like reggae soundtrack stuff that's kind of made into some hip hop mix with it, and you get that with the Wild West. And I don't know, it seems to work, and it has a whole lot of fucking style. You got Idris in it, you got obviously Delroy Lindo, and then you have
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors, who's just doing it, Zazie Beetz. You know, you got
Regina King, Keith Stanfield. It was like really, god damn. There was so many good actors.
You got so many people.
Go ahead. Oh god. So for me, like, man, So it's funny because there's a thing that Prodigy's baby mama had said that, like, where she thinks that fireflies are imaginary things. Like, she never she doesn't believe that they're real just because she never seen one. And I feel like that's how it is with westerns. Like, westerns is just a made up fucking cultures, but like this fucking franchise, like this movie was fucking great. Like, it just, because usually with a lot of black movies, there's like it's kind of like a stereotype, like what's like a, I can't remember what it's called, but like a black movie is called, like like there's like black exploitation movies and stuff like that. But this one had like a fresh feel to it. Like, you know, we had fucking badass characters, and like there was no real mention about like slavery and stuff like that. Like, this was just fucking badass fucking people getting shit fucking done. I thought it was kind of cool.
There was no N-word.
Yes.
I fucking loved it. They almost in the beginning they said it, and they handled it excellently.
Yes. I think that's what it was. The N-word was not fucking thrown around. Like, we got, what if he said nincompoop? And I was like, that was fucking classic.
Well,
but no, like, okay.
I was gonna say, really quick shout out to Angela. No, I want to say Angela Davis. God damn it. What's her name from Watchmen? God damn it, I'm fucking up with names today. Regina King. Jesus Christ.
Regina King. It's like, what?
Yeah. So Regina King did a brief shout out to Denzel playing Malcolm X in the Spike Lee movie from the 90s. And I caught it the first time they did it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I hadn't thought about that scene when he does the point with the glove on it, when one of the Muslims is in jail or whatever.
No, he was in the hospital, and he was like badly injured, and if he was gonna die, there was some shit gonna go down.
But I hadn't thought about that specific scene in, I don't know, 10, 15 years or something. But as soon as I saw her do it, I was like, "Oh shit, that's a wink and a nod right there. That's a little Easter egg. It was cool."
Yeah,
but going back to the cast, like dude, I don't know. It was this movie was just so much fun because you have your badasses, and you have like the one, like the one guy I think about is the guy who was like, "Oh, I'm the fastest gunman in the West." Like, he was super fucking bragging, blah blah blah, and he got to meet the guy who was a badass at being fast too, and shit just didn't work out. But I don't know. Overall, this shit it was fun from the beginning to the end. Like, from the trailers, I had the impression that Idris Elba was going to be like the good guy. Like, they were going to rescue him, and he's going to be kind of like Django. He's going to be like Django Unchained. He's going to change things. But it turns out he was a fucking villain. Like, he was a bad fucking guy. And the giant fucking twist at the end, like, once it got closer to the end, I was like, oh shit, I know what the fuck is going to happen now. And I was like, okay, I understand everything that fucking happened. But yeah, man, this shit was a lot of fucking fun. Like the girl fight between Zazie and Regina was a lot of fun, and like Regina character had a fucking backstory, which was fucking cool. I was like, this, I don't know, this really felt really good. And plus, I mean, we're gonna talk about it eventually, but like the nods to Chad Bowen,
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Bowen, yeah. Like, I don't know, Netflix, they did a really good job with this, and I hope they kind of do like a little side stories with the other characters, because I think that'd be kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, this is. Go ahead.
I was just going to say really quickly, I did see some rumblings, and again, I haven't completely finished it like everybody else on the show. I saw some rumblings, so, and I take everything with a grain of salt. I know there's some truth to this. There's very few photos, but Stagecoach Mary was supposed to be a really dark-skinned woman. Obviously, Zazie plays her in this. Some people are going to, have issues with that, and I get it, with colorism and all of that. I get it to a certain extent, but I'm going to tell you, as Prodigy on this show, I'm never going to have a problem with Zazie Beetz, so she's so goddamn fine. I just love her and everything. I just do.
Well, it's funny, they talk about, the colorism thing, but also Stagecoach Mary, like, when she was, like, an actual badass, she was old as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she wasn't some young lady. She became a badass in, like, her 60s. And that's when she was, like, shooting motherfuckers, protecting the post office trains. And that's why I say, they like, it's cool that they did this, and they said these are real characters, but all these characters could literally have series of their own, or at least documentaries. Because, like, the guy, Rufus Buck, he was a real piece of shit. Like, way worse in the movie. He wasn't somebody's brother that was altruistic. No, he was out robbing, killing, raping motherfuckers. So, yeah.
Yep.
We'll kind of jump back with the whole colorism thing, because I remember, what's her name? The girl who played Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, because she was going to play some famous black actress, like
Nina Simone, and she did do it.
Yes. Oh, she did do it?
Yeah. So I was talking to Mishka about this literally tonight. That movie must have been in like 3 art house theaters for like 1 weekend only, because like it came and went so goddamn quickly.
I don't remember it coming out. Oh, it did? Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
I just remember that story, like, oh, why is she playing this character? She isn't dark enough to be such and such. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, that's just let the work, the craft of this stuff. Because I think with Zazie, she had posted up recently saying that, like, she's gone through her life where she was, like, questioning, is she black enough? And it's like, yo, girl, your hair speak for itself, because your hair is, that shit's out of control. But it's amazing.
The only thing that I would say is distinctive when it comes to, God, I want to call her Gamora, but obviously that's disrespectful because she's been in so many things. But playing Nina was, she had like prosthetic nose, mouth, like darkening of her skin on. Like, she looked a mess in the still photos. Like, they did a lot. It wasn't like they just, hey, you just do it, as yourself. She put on a lot of. She almost looked as different as Colin Farrell looks in the Batman. In terms of,
wow.
Like, there was a lot to it.
Yeah,
but,
I
haven't seen the movie for myself either.
Well, in the Batman, Colin Farrell looks so bad. He looks like a totally different actor.
He does.
Yeah, but it's weird that we live in this age to where we can claim colorism for black people. You know what I mean? It's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, man, really? Like, it's hard enough for these actors to get any sort of acting work, any sort of serious acting work at all. And I understand that the people that are probably making these movies, that the production studios are not sensitive enough to portray the characters that they're trying to portray, because they're probably mostly white people, and they don't care. Like, we just need somebody that we think is a good actor. We don't care about how melanated they are, but at the same time, it's like, they're still black and they still need work, and they're still not getting the same amount of work as like a white actor, and these actors are not doing like The Last Samurai.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, one other quick point, just historically, never forget that like Malcolm X was super light skinned with light red hair. That's why they called him Malcolm Red or whatever. Denzel's way darker than him and did a phenomenal job in that role and doesn't have red hair or whatever. Like, they dyed his hair a little bit and they let Denzel rock it out, and he did one of the best jobs we've ever seen in the the 90s or whatever, playing a historical figure. So
I am Malcolm X.
just put that into the conversation. But yeah, harder they fall. I'm gonna finish it probably tomorrow. Incredible so far. I'm really impressed. I thought this one was fun, and I can't wait to watch it. I would have watched it tonight, but we cast it. Goddamn it!
Yeah, sorry, man. I mean, we had
No worries.
We had to do things.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, I'm looking. So I was looking at Zoe's
Zazie Beats.
Why can't I say her name? Zalden?
Can't say Zazie.
Zaldana? Whoa, so weird. No, I think the prosthetics and stuff looks decent on her for Nia Simone, but I gotta watch. These are just still shots. It probably looks a lot worse.
No. About Gamora.
I'm talking about Gamora.
Okay, that's
I'm
not.
talking about Zoe Saldana.
Oh, Zoe Saldana.
Saldana. Oh my God, what the fuck?
You can't say Saldana.
Yeah.
Hold on, you. Okay, anyway, your wife. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like last names, you can't say anything like near Spanish, bro.
Well, no, like, because I was looking at her name and it's Sal, so I'm thinking Sal, and I'm like Dana. Like, what the hell? Like,
Zoe Saldana.
it took my English and my Spanish and stuff was getting all kind of confused. I was like, wait, how come I can't say her fucking last name? But yeah, well, for the still shot, she looks decent, but you gotta watch the movie and see, like, really judge it for that. But
somewhere in San Jose, there's a woman who's a My Hero Academia fan getting her chair ready to throw at her.
She's sharpening
it's Zoe
knives.
Danata!
She's sharpening knives. Holy shit, I'm looking at the picture. Goddamn, yes, they definitely did darken her up. A lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, she doesn't... I mean, it's her, but... Yeah, the picture I'm looking at, it doesn't... That's weird. Alright, okay.
Yeah.
It's
Like, yeah, I mean, they could have definitely gotten somebody that was just. I kind of get it, but at the same time, give her work because she's also black and she goes through the same struggle that we all go through. So.
And she's an amazing actress, but this should have gone to homegirl from Suicide Squad. The place Walders.
Oh yeah, that could have worked.
Yeah.
That could have worked.
That would have worked. That'd have been damn near fucking perfect. But Zoe, she's a great actress and she fucking brings it every role she plays. So
look, I like Zoe a lot. I really do.
She's got that nerd cred too. So she's hot as hell. But
oh
yeah,
damn, there's somebody else. Hold on, this woman would look very passing as her young. I'm trying to figure out her name, but there's two. I'm seeing a picture of Nina Simone and this other melanated actress, but I don't know her fucking name.
Is it old girl from American Gods?
I don't fucking know. It just has the side by side shots and no goddamn words that matter. This is so fucking. Why the fuck you do that? Why you do that, internet? Like this is perfect, but I have no words. And also, somebody had Crazy Eyes as being her too. Actually, the nose would be perfect for her.
There you go.
The actress that played Crazy Eyes, I forget her name.
Hey, it is what it is.
What is she from Friday? The girl that plays Crazy Eyes, or is that no? She was in Secret Life of the Bees.
Goddamn, we're all over the place.
Suzanne Warner is her name in the show. Uzo Adoba.
Okay, yeah. She was really good. You guys may have touched upon this last week. I couldn't connect or whatever on some technical bullshit, but
right.
I kept trying. For like 40 minutes. That shit was frustrating. But did you guys touch on Army of Thieves at all?
No, I didn't watch it.
Blue, did you watch it at all?
Army. That's a prequel to Army of Darkness, right?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get to watch it.
I will say this: even if you didn't see Army of the Dead, check this one out because old girl, not Missouri. I want to say Missouri. Masanti from Game of Thrones. Holy shit. If you thought she was at least cute or kind of hot in Game of Thrones, you ain't seen shit. She bad as fuck in this one, Army of Thieves. And it's all about like this, the world's greatest safecracker, and they're doing some heist stuff. It's kind of Ocean's 11 meets zombie apocalypse world.
Natalie Emmanuel. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She
brings it.
She's pretty fine.
Yeah. She was in Bond. Was she in the last James Bond movie, right?
I didn't see the last Daniel Craig one.
Oh no, she was in Fast 9.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in Fast and Furious. Yeah, that's what it was.
But it's impressive.
She's bad as hell. Like if they did a Fresh Prince remake, like she should pay
Hillary.
She should pay Hillary for sure, hands down.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. In
fine.
fact, they are doing a Fresh Prince remake.
Yeah, they are, but she's not in it.
I approve this message.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have the director read the recaster.
Yeah, just staying with like Netflix movies. I saw that one the week prior, and I was like, okay, I like this heist movie. It fits in well, and this girl is fine as fuck. Like you thought she was fine already, and you see her in this, and you're just like, I underestimated her fineness. Because she just fucking brings it up the whole fucking movie.
She acted good as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She acted fine.
Yeah, she acted finely. No, that's cool. I'll try to check it out someday. I started watching Arcane. Did you watch Arcane?
Not yet, but talk about it.
Oh man, okay. So I only watched one episode, and the artwork is fucking amazing. Oh my god!
Ooh.
It's like literally, it's like watching a comic book come to life. And when I say that, it's like better than not the themes of Into the Spider-Verse, but as far as like the way a comic looks, it looks better than Into the Spider-Verse. But it doesn't have the same like artistic expression as Into the Spider-Verse. So because it's not based on a comic, so it doesn't have like the cell shading and like the comic fucking things over the heads and shit like that, you know. But
so what's crazy when I watched it, I was like, yo, this feels like a fucking video game. Like it felt like
it is
like the cutscenes from a fucking video game. But then like I looked it up because when you're watching the opening credits, it says Riot Games. I'm like, Riot Games? Like holy shit, that's a gaming company. Like what the fuck? They're making a fucking TV show or a TV series. I was like, oh shit, this is actually like a sequel to or a precursor to their video game.
Yeah, it's like one of the it's an esports game. It's like one of the most popular ones that's out there. I've never played the game, but I know it's in the esports realm, and it's actually sort of started like a whole genre.
Yeah, we got a name drop because this one is big though. It's League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends.
Yes, it's League of Legends,
yeah.
And this is if you watch a YouTube video about tech or something like that, somebody's sponsored by League of Legends, and they're always talking about that fucking mobile app. So
you know
they're big.
I don't everybody knows me. I don't play PC games. But I've watched this one, and the best like opening to that world is actually they have a Netflix documentary all about League of Legends.
Nice. That
kind of made me aware of just how fucking huge it is worldwide. Of course, South Korea goes crazy for it and a whole bunch of other places, but it's a big fucking deal, and there's a lot of things that happen on the screen, a lot of bright colors and a lot of wacky, zany characters, but I'm down to watch this just based on the fact that it's wildly popular. Like you think Overwatch is popular or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This one's big time. It's big time shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was it was really interesting. Like the first episode of like they're really paying attention to like how to like really tell a story and like building up stuff. So you're like really learning about the characters in the very first episode and like seeing that they're like basically thieves and like in a sort of steampunky-ish era with like kind of sort of magic, sort of not. It I don't know. I was immediately invested in the whole thing, and then like when I thought I was just gonna watch it alone because me and Kim like we wouldn't watch all shows together, and so she saw like the preview of it. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, it's a show you probably don't want to watch." She's like, "What do you mean I don't want to watch this?" I was like, "Well, you don't usually watch shows like this. Like, we can watch."
She was like, "I'll show you."
Yeah, so we watched it and she liked it, and I was like, "All right, cool. So we're gonna we're gonna watch this. Like, this is gonna be the new show. So like,
Nice.
and if you say, you know, you're gonna pass on it, I'm just gonna keep watching on my own. So like,
Every couple does that. I swear to God.
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
there are those shows that you watch so
long. Every healthy couple does this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny, bringing that up real quick. The Swedish started watching the TV series You on Netflix, and like the first, I like, she was watching it. I just happened to be walking by. I was like, "What the fuck? This guy's like totally stalking this chick." I'm like, "This is a dumb fucking show." Fucking hooked. I watched fucking season 1, season 2, season 3 that just fucking dropped. Like, yeah, there's shows on Netflix that are that way, but yeah, like the for this show, Arcadia.
Arcane.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Arcade, sorry.
She gonna get that chair again. She's sharpening them knives, Blue.
Yeah, she is, man. She's just waiting the next time we do a fucking panel to call me out on my shit. But no, like watching the show, like I don't know, just like Kronos had mentioned, like the animation is like that. Like the animation is definitely something that's refreshing. It's really clean and cut. It definitely have that like that video game feel to it. But like it starts off with two girls going to their city that's been fucking just
2 girls, 1 cup.
Huh? No, it's two girls, one town. No, but yeah, they go into their city and just their fucking whole entire village is fucking just destroyed. And there's this guy who's just fucking pommeling a dude, and he looks at the girl.
Wait, he's pommeling him. What kind of gay porn you watching?
Hey man, I'm just telling you how the show works.
Did he use the Balldo though?
No, he had he was 2 fists in it.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah.
2 dudes, 1 ass whooping.
Yeah, basically. But the guy was like, the 2 girls, they were like, where's our mom? Where's our mom? And like the guy like looks over to the shadow, and you see the fucking smoke just fade away, and the fucking parents just dead. And that's when the guy was like, had a change of heart. Was like, what the fuck am I doing? And he like drops his fucking 2 fucking like gauntlets or something, whatever he had on his fucking fist, and took this girl in, and like I braced him as his own.
He
basically
used the fist and brought the girl in.
Hey, and then he took him to a blackout.
Yeah. See, now here's me and my 4 other friends, and what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Unzip stick.
But what's the rating on this show? Is it PG-13 or is it?
I think it's 13, or it's probably PG. There was no like real. There was violence, but no blood.
Yeah.
So there's no blood, no cursing. Probably PG.
Yeah.
As far as anime shows go, like how does that rank for you, Kronos? Like, cause then we got Voltron, fucking Master Universe, we got Castlevania. Netflix got some really great fucking animated series.
They
like,
do, but so I'm gonna
like
have to
exclusive.
When we talk about like shows like of those calibers, I have to talk about like the original episodes. And so when it comes down to the original episodes, this is definitely better than Voltron for the original episode, not the entire series.
Yeah,
because the entire series was fantastic, but the original episodes wasn't great. They had me invested, but it wasn't great. Was it better than the first episode of He-Man?
Now He-Man, Master Universe.
Master of the Universe. It's up there with Master of the Universe because the first episode of Master of the Universe was really good. It's at least up there with that caliber of show, but it's also like I feel like it's drawing us, like it's doing a better storytelling job because it doesn't start off with like some crazy amazing fight sequence. There is some cool shit in the first episode, but it tries to get you invested into the story of the characters first before showing you like all the cool shit. So on that aspect, like I think it's up there with like the greatest of Netflix animated shows for me personally.
Did you both finish that last season of Castlevania?
No.
Yes. Is that when? Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a giant fucking thing that happened at the end.
Yeah, I will say for me, and I haven't seen Arcane yet. I will, maybe even I'll watch an episode tonight. That show, it started off great, and for me, it got even better. And like it went to masterpiece especially in that last season.
Well, yeah, that's why I was comparing the first episodes to first episode. So when it comes to like, how good was the first episode of this show? Because I mean, there's certain shows that they definitely got better. Like that's why I said Voltron. Voltron, was definitely a superior show to, as a whole, to Arcane, but also Arcane isn't finished, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But if I compare first episode to first episode, Arcane's got it beat for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm definitely down to see it. I've heard nothing but really good buzz about it, man.
What one thing that's crazy with Netflix shows is that it's always kind of, it's either word of mouth or when you log into Netflix, it's like, oh, this show is trending. Like that's what gets you hooked. So I guess Netflix know that like I'm into animated shows. So this show came up. I was like, what the fuck is this show? And I started watching it because I mean, you guys had talked about it in the chat, and I looked it up. I was like, oh, when I saw it was Riot Games, I'm like, oh shit, this is Riot Games. Let me see if this is like, you know, something new for them. And they're like, oh, this is tied into the League of Legends. I was like, oh shit, this is just a game backstory, but it's just great so far. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, and they also did Dragon's Dogma, which was okay-ish. And there was one other one from a game that I saw that, of course, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was animated and it kind of looked a little Voltron-like. So they're doing it, you know, they're trying.
You know who I wish would partner up with Netflix and do a great animated series is fucking oh god, the name just totally slipped my mind. Not Rockstar. Fuck. The guys who did the Telltale games, they did do a fucking Batman one. Because they did with Carmen Sandiego, they did the choose your own adventure like interactive thing. And if they somehow are able to pull like the Telltale games into Netflix, I mean, the whole fighting scenes and stuff like that, like yeah, that's all fun and games, but like, you know, choosing how Batman reacts to certain things, that's kind of the meat and the bread and butter of those fucking games, to be honest. Yeah. And to see if Netflix was to pick that up, I'll probably watch that shit. I don't know. I'll probably try to unlock every different avenue, kind of how what they did with it was an episode of Black Mirror, right, where they had like the different stories that you can choose your own adventure, right? Was it Black Mirror on Netflix? The one that had the guy who's going to be playing the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, the Go dude. Oh god, not Star-Lord. The guy from the Golden People, because he played like a game developer in Black Mirror. Yeah, he's going to be playing Adam Warlock, but he was in that Black Mirror. I'll look it up real quick because it was like, I was like probably a couple of years ago they had this. Like this was a choose, like literally like you wake, like the kid wake up.
Balderdash.
Balderdash. That's what it was. Yeah. And if they can somehow pull that together with fucking with the Batman Telltale games, I don't know. I'll be hooked. I'll watch that shit over and over again. That would be number one. That would beat Kokomo, just because I'll be watching it so many times. Oh, sorry, not Kokomo. Cocomelon.
I would be down for all of that. You're right, Blue. But the one I'd still love to see, and even though they're doing a live action movie, man, it's time for some Metal Gear anime. Like, it's been time for a long time already.
Honestly, I don't know. So this is the problem when we talk about Metal Gear right now, is because, you know, Hideo Kojima-san is no longer with Konami. So I think there's going to be a serious issue with. So when we talk about Metal Gear in like any sort of fashion, it needs to be Hideo Kojima. There needs to be fucking movies. Like, honestly, I don't know. I know he aspired to be a filmmaker, but he needs to be a fucking filmmaker. I don't care how it happens, but the stories that he writes are basically films, and they need to be made on film. And the fact that he left, you know, Konami, I hope it doesn't fuck up the Metal Gear series. It obviously sort of already has, because nobody's even talking about the next one.
Yep.
So we have Metal Gear Survive, but it's not really like a Metal Gear type game. So,
well, never forget. Even though 5 was brilliant, it was definitely brilliant. It wasn't completed to the satisfaction of Hideo. Yeah. Like that, there were additional stages that he wanted to enter into there, but he kept having those fights with Konami, and they were being dicks with him. You know what I mean? And so I feel like there was probably a good 20 to 30% of that game that got left on the editing room floor, or is still in his head, that never came out, which is a shame, even though it was still almost a masterpiece, or basically a masterpiece.
Yeah, if you've never played a Metal Gear Solid or a Metal Gear game. Well, I'll just say Metal Gear Solid. I mean, because most people have never played the original Metal Gear. I have because I was alive and playing games at the time.
It was good.
Yeah, they were good. But if you play like Metal Gear Solid, like the PS1 version of the game, and you go from there up, these are like literally love letters to America. And like and especially American cinema. And if you don't see that while playing the game, like you're kind of missing something. And the fact that we haven't had this guy being able to write like an American, like an American movie, is just, it's a disservice to like just media in general, like the way we consume things. I hope someday that he does it, even if it's not Metal Gear. You know, he had he started Jesus Christ, the game. What the fuck is the latest?
Death Stranding.
Yeah, Death Stranding, which I love, but I know people didn't like it. Because of the...
I need to play it.
It's like you need to play... I think most people that don't like it, they never got past like the first 2 acts. Because I think it's Act 3 is where it's actually really good. So just speed run through the first like 2 acts and then you'll be fine.
Okay.
And now it's way easier to play. The definitive edition makes it much easier to play for most people. But yeah, even with that game, like it's still a world that I'd be interested in seeing like a show or a movie with. Go ahead, Will.
Well, but like with talking about the creator of Metal Gear Solid, like the reason why it'll be hard for him to make, I mean, he should be able to direct a movie on Snake, but like, you know, with our former president, when Parasite won Best Movie of the Year, and this mofo was like, how come a foreign film won Best Movie of the Year? And it's like, you small dick motherfucker, let's sit your ass down. You have no idea of what makes a good fucking movie. Just shut the fuck up.
No, I mean,
and I just feel like,
go ahead.
No, I just feel like, you know, some of America just isn't ready for that. But then again, if you look at like Demon Slayer, like animated series did fucking well in America. Like it made buku money, and a lot of other foreign movies made buku money here in America. Yeah, people are just here fucking for it.
Well, I think it's
like he needs to find a suit that will back him up.
America is definitely, at least a good portion of America is definitely hungry for foreign cinema and even like a different take on entertainment in America. Like, I introduced my daughter, my youngest daughter, she's 4, almost 5. She turns 5 this month. But I introduced her to Baby Metal, like 2 years ago. Holy shit, she fucking loves that shit. And the first thing, like, she asked me, it's like, Daddy, what are they saying? But she seemed to like it. Like the Fox thing. Yeah.
I was trying to do, how do they do the Fox thing?
Like thing like it's almost like the metal sign, but like you put your 2 middle fingers together. And
the quiet coyote symbol.
Yeah. Prodigy knows. Anyway, she immediately wanted to know, and I was like, we're listening to it, and I was like, she's like, Daddy, I don't understand what they're saying. I was like, oh, they're speaking Japanese. And they have some songs in English. I was like, here, we'll listen to a song in English. And so we listened to like the one that's in English, the first English song. And then we got home and I was like, hey, you know, do you want to see these? Like, you want to see the videos? So the videos are cool because I told her like they were little girls that were singing the music, singing the song. And she was like, yeah, like let's watch it. So we watched it. She's like, oh, and then now she's like literally learning the dances and shit like that. Nice. And then she's asking me like, what does Seiya Soya mean? What does Os mean? And I'm just like, I know what Os means only because I do jiu-jitsu. And I used to know what Seiya Soya means, but they're 2 words that don't have direct translations in English. You know what I mean? So it's like, Seiya Soya is like, kind of like, do your best, sort of. Is like, doing your best. And then Os is sort of like saying yes, or at least an acknowledgement of like what somebody says. But it's kind of like a vulgar way to like acknowledge somebody. Like, you wouldn't say Os to like somebody that you didn't know or like a superior. Yeah. So, it's like me trying to like,
it's like slang almost.
It's sort of, yeah. So it's like me like trying to explain these like kind of abstract concepts like a 4-year-old, but she seems to like sort of get it. But she's been listening to like Baby Metal like nonstop. But these cultural, you know, things are important that our kids are exposed to, of like seeing like some other culture and even like Baby Metal and stuff like that. Like there's still like metal was not created in Japan. You know what I mean? So they're still like throwbacks to other cultures that they reinvent and they put back out in their own form. That's really cool. But if you're not willing to open your mind up to these things, like you're missing a whole thing of like how much these other cultures like really appreciate at least portions of the American culture and like their interpretation of it, you know.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is, and obviously, Blue, you're gonna keep on experiencing this, and you probably are experiencing it. Is just as a parent, you never know what the fuck your kids are gonna gravitate towards. You just have to expose them to new stuff and see what happens. And sometimes shit clicks, and you're surprised and caught off guard. Like my kids started getting crazy into My Hero Academia lately, and then my daughter loves, even though it's the unofficial version. But the Doom Eternal soundtrack, you put that on, and she's just fucking in heaven.
I love that. Mick fucking Gordon is the dude. I have no idea why I cannot buy the Doom Eternal soundtrack any goddamn where. It's so fucking disappointing.
Like the official?
Yeah, you have to go on YouTube to listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You cannot buy... motherfucker, at this point, I'll be willing to pay $100. $100 to buy the fucking soundtrack.
Because it gets you so goddamn hyped up. And then, like, I love they do a little voiceover work or whatever, where they were, like, you know, talking about the lore in the dark ages of blah, blah, blah. The Doomslayer was ripping and tearing. And, like, my little 7-year-old just gets hyped up. And it's like, Daddy, rip and tear, rip and tear. You know?
Well, it's kind of jump back to the whole cultural thing, too. Like, you know, there's been a giant fucking leap with music because like we have like beats. It's always every time I think of BTS, I'm like, we made them big. Like it's us. We reacted to them. Then it became big. It was us that made BTS big. But like, it definitely isn't us. But like just K-pop. Like I feel like it's grown like over the years. It's been like a huge fucking trend in America, and even like there's been a homegirl from what's her name something. The girl from the group, something pink. I can't remember her name.
Blackpink?
But Blackpink. Like, she's... why did I remember that? But, yeah, Blackpink. Like, there's a girl from Blackpink who crossed over to American genre, and she has, like, a #1 hit song out right now. And it's like, holy shit. Like, I was watching the video, I was like, wait, isn't that the girl from Blackpink? I looked her up, like, oh, shit, she is from Blackpink. Like, you know, when it comes to, like, movies and pop culture and stuff like that, you know, a lot of people nowadays just so fucking open-minded. Like we need to have Kojima do a Metal Gear Solid, a Metal Gear with Snake. Even he can have Quiet in there. If he have Quiet in there, he might be controversy. But we need that movie.
Yeah. If we could have Pamela Anderson in goddamn Baywatch, we can have Quiet with big ass titties in Metal Gear Solid. I'm just saying, stop it, America, stop it.
I love the people who never played Metal Gear Solid 5, who looked at what Quiet looked like and like started complaining instantly, knowing shit on shit about the story and how it fucking fit. Everything she wore made sense in the goddamn story. And so that's when I was just like, you know what? Video games, man.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm looking at their live feed right now. Somebody gave us a thumbs down. Like, what the fuck? Like, who? Why are you up in here giving us a thumb down? Like, what the hell, man?
People that give thumbs down, these don't even comment. I don't pay attention to that kinds of shit. Unless it's like some racist bastard that actually comments. And then, yes, if you give me some racist shit, I will comment back. And I will shame you on the internet for being a dumbass.
Good.
Yeah. I don't let those sorts of things
go. We should get into some real life stuff for just a quick second. Not that I want to change the tone, but like, man, I mean, this Rittenhouse trial is certainly the talk of the town right now, and this judge is acting an entire fucking ass. Have you guys seen any of this? What are your takes? What do you think?
I mean, honestly, the fact that they couldn't call the people that got killed by him victims. I'm like, what? I mean, they're definitely victims. Like, I don't understand how they cannot be called victims. Like, he shot them and killed them, no matter what happened. Even if somebody threatened me with serious violence, if somebody tried to stab me and I killed them, even when it's justified, they'll be a victim of my violence, and I would have no problem with somebody saying that. Like, they were a victim of my violence. Even if it was in self-defense, I still killed that person. They were the victim. I was the aggressor at the point, even though I was in self-defense. Like, this is why I wish I had, Stitch was on. Maybe he could, like, clarify from a legal standpoint. At least from a police standpoint, because police are limited in their legal understanding. But it's like, still, they're still a victim of, somebody else. I don't understand why the fuck you would change the name of that.
Yeah, well, I'll be direct with this one. 17-year-old black boy goes across state lines with an AR-15 or any firearm whatsoever into an active zone where there is lawlessness, angry, maybe even violent riots or protests, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. But you cross state lines as a minor to engage in it and ended up killing people. We're not, if that occurs, those exact same events, we're not having the same conversation. We're not,
Nope.
They're not raising millions of dollars. There's not all this victim stuff. There's not, that person would have been shot instantly in the fucking streets with that firearm on them. Like, period, point blank. Like, there's no two ways about it. People are dead as a direct result of him and what he did. And I don't have a lot of confidence that he's going to get convicted of murder, even though he is a murderer.
And God, I was watching some of the coverage of it, and like I'm gonna butcher the whole terms, whatever. But so he was on the stand, and they were questioning him, and basically the answer he was giving was like, "Dude, you're fucking basically admitting that you're guilty." So the person was like, "Yeah, so you had the gun to the person's chest, and you fired, and you murdered that person, right?" And he's like, I can't deny or not deny that I shot and that wounded a person to make them murder and stuff like that." I'm like, yo, man, you fucking killed this person. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for it. Like, you pulled the trigger. You know what's gonna happen with that gun. Go ahead, Kronos.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't know why the defense had them had him take a stand. I mean, he has Fifth Amendment rights. Like, he could have just said no, because it's so... Honestly, I'm kind of glad that he took the stand, because he's fucking... What he did was totally unnecessary, and he was wrong, and he needs to be convicted of some sort of crime. But at the same time, it's like, why would the defense have him go on the stand when he could just say, I plead the fifth? Like, you don't need to take the stand. You don't need to do that. These are rights that you have as a citizen of the United States. But I'm fucking glad he took the stand. And, he admitted to certain things. And it's like, and he, he fake cried through some shit. And it's just like, bro, you don't even look like you actually cared about these people's lives.
Look, I'm just going to ask this, and I don't know, obviously, all the laws with this in various states, because they vary from state to state. I get all of that. But as a 17-year-old, you can go into a gun store and buy a firearm in certain states?
No. So, hold on.
Not just a firearm. Sorry.
This is the thing. I can speak from 100% experience. So, no. Actually, no. In certain states, you probably can buy a firearm, but that doesn't matter. He had a rifle in most states besides California and a few other like liberal states. You can carry a rifle and shoot a rifle as a minor. It's fine. And in states that are open carry, those same things apply in open carry states. You can carry around a rifle, as in open carry states as a minor, and it's just fine. The most stringent gun laws in most states that are like liberal states are handguns. And or assault rifles, but there's no assault rifle. Assault rifle is a fucking kind of a triggering thing for most people, because assault rifles don't really exist. They're fucking bullshit statements, and most people think that assault rifles are like they're automatic weapons. So I'll clarify again. Assault rifles are a pistol grip for a rifle, for a compensator on the tip of the barrel, a detachable magazine, and I always forget the goddamn last one. There was like the third thing.
Shoulder? Is it shoulder butt? Or something different.
No, it's something different. But those three things, it's like they're things that most people don't even think about. Like they're things that make the firearm just easier to handle. It's kind of dumb. It's nothing to do with automatic. So I want to clarify that shit. Just generally speaking, but yeah, he should. I think they clarified it in the trial that he can legally carry a firearm where he was. It is odd that he went across state lines to do so, but I think he's legally able to do so.
It was his gun then?
I think it
like
was. It doesn't even matter if it was his gun.
Let's see.
But let me make sure I understand though. You're saying, and again, I don't know this. I could try to look it up, but sometimes I get all distracted by all the porn on Google. You're saying that at 17 you can legally purchase in some states.
No, I'm saying that it doesn't matter if he purchased it or not. I don't think he even purchased it. He doesn't have to. Somebody could literally give him that gun, and he can still use it.
Wow.
So let me give the actual personal experience. So my oldest daughter, who's 19 now, she technically, well, I don't know if she still has the firearm, but she was given a 22 caliber rifle when she was like fucking 7, maybe 8. She might have been 6.
I remember the story.
Yeah, and
I've seen videos of this.
Yeah, she shot with it all the time. It was fine. Like obviously, she didn't have a goddamn gun card. She didn't register to have the firearm. But she lived in Michigan, and at the time, she was in Michigan at the time, and she shot that gun all the time, and it was fine. I shot with her. Her my ex-father-in-law, helped her learn how to shoot. I helped her shoot as well, and yeah, you don't need to have like all this paperwork as a minor to have a firearm in certain states, but it's usually of the understanding that you're learning how to shoot with somebody else. Are you going hunting or something like that? Not humans, but animals, and that's why those laws exist. Is that it's to help people hunt and shit like that. It's not designed for killing people.
But the one who's let me just be really even more practical though.
Go ahead.
Even with that being the case, wouldn't you say that the overwhelming majority of times, just because of financial and economic reasons, it's the adult doing the purchasing of the firearm, not the child?
Yes, the adult, yes. But I haven't heard a story where he literally bought the firearm. I thought that he got it from somebody else.
Okay.
But even still, even when it comes to purchasing firearms, it's state to state. And usually, like most states, it comes to, if you're going to buy a firearm, you can't buy a handgun, but you can buy a rifle, because a rifle is for in the United States and actually most other countries, a rifle is considered a more reasonable thing to get.
Hunting weapon or something like that.
You can't hide it, and it's usually used for hunting. So
yeah,
and I think that most people. So this is where the California effect comes in, because people in California, they assume that every single firearm that is purchased is to kill people, but they forget that firearms are usually used to like hunt things, to like get your food.
Well,
for me, I think that.
Hold on. Let's clarify though, because California's a big state, and you already know this. But coastal California versus rural California,
but everybody on this podcast is not rural.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but we know that there's plenty of hunting that goes on in California.
100%.
So. One interesting story with Rittenhouse story is Rittenhouse. How the fuck did he get there? Like, did you
combine Riot Games with Rittenhouse? Is that what?
I just put T's in his name when they were supposed to fucking D's or whatever.
That's awesome.
I put D's instead of T's because it's Rittenhouse. But no, so how did he cross state lines? Did he Uber? Did he drive? Did his mom drop him off?
Okay, Blue, come on, man. If you're 17 years old, you can go fucking anywhere you want in a car. If you have a driver's license, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure how he crossed state lines, just because everything kind of happened like kind of suddenly. So I wasn't sure, because I heard stories that he that his mom dropped him off and something like that. Like I heard different stories about how he got to different counties.
Yeah, I heard that too, but at the same time, it is not in the United States of America. It is not odd to cross any state line. But what is odd is going out and trying to patrol the streets with a firearm and to protect things that you don't own.
Yeah, I think in one of the statement he had
and
mentioned how
as a minor,
the reason why that's minor, how he went there to protect the property of these storefronts, and it wasn't like he was out there to protect life, stuff like that. He was out there to protect like properties. That he said that in his statement. When they
okay, hold on. Let's stop this. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to say. The end result of his actions are people are dead. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So, like...
But, no, hold on. So, even though you said that, Prodigy, there is one part that's going to stick with it. Some people...
Yeah.
Some of it got kind of... But there's one fact that it's going to be an issue with the law that's going to protect him. Is that... I think it's the first person he shot pointed a gun at him first. And that's an issue.
Okay.
If
one other guy had a...
Yeah, if somebody puts a gun at you...
I guess one guy had a skateboard.
Well, the skateboard thing is not so... I think it's after he shot. But I think it's the first person that, the first person he shot pointed a gun at him first. And within most states, probably all states, if somebody points a firearm at you, you are well within your rights to protect yourself.
Yeah. I think the second guy had the skateboard...
Yeah.
But I think there was one guy who that's the guy who he shot point blank, because I think he murdered 3 people. But
it was 2. It was 2 and 3 people got shot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. But I don't know. This one's fucking hard. I feel like he's gonna get off on this one.
This one doesn't seem that hard to me.
Well,
but
no, I get you, man. Like there needs to be consequences, because obviously he went there literally. This sets a dangerous precedent if you can literally go somewhere and be like, I'm just going to carry a gun around, and if somebody fucks with me, then I'm just going to kill them. It's like...
John Wayne, that shit.
Yeah, you can't... that should not be the way... we have... Unfortunately... Well, I can't even say that. We have police to deal with shit like that. You can't just go somewhere and protect property that's not yours for whatever reason that you feel that you have a need to do. It doesn't make any practical sense. And I think
they do have insurance.
Yeah, and it's like, if their shit burns down, okay, it burns down. You don't own it. It's not your shit. So,
right.
Even me, so I'm not gonna go somewhere. This is me as somebody that I can defend myself. I know how to shoot. I'm a Marine, but I'm not gonna go somewhere. Even with all the rights that I used to have, and look for trouble. I'm not going to make sure that you're doing the right thing, that you're obeying all the law. No, that's not my fucking job. It's not my fucking job. And you don't have qualified immunity, which shouldn't exist anyway. Whole long conversation, but that's not your job. That's what you pay taxes for. You pay taxes for the state to protect property, or the owners of the property to have insurance. If they don't have insurance, then that's up to them. It's not up to you to go out there and be like fucking Superman or some goddamn vigilante and try to keep the peace. You didn't train to keep the peace. All you have is a fucking gun. How much you train on the gun? No idea. Do you have morals? No idea. And this is what the crux of the issue is, that nobody asked this fucking asshole. And yes, I'm calling the minor in this an asshole, which I rarely do, to come out there and do fucking anything. He could have lived his life where he lived and been fine. And those other people that were there would have lived their life. And yeah, I don't care if the people that he killed had some criminal background. I don't give a fuck. If they had criminal background, if they got out, they're still out. They did their time. And they did their thing. And people, they don't... America is too focused on punishment. Seriously. We want to punish fucking everybody for any fucking minor thing. And we need to stop that shit.
See, when I was a kid, even before I got hooked onto Batman, there was Darkwing Duck. And I was like, oh, I want to be a fucking superhero, and I want to raid my city of crime and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I can fucking die. I knew... As a kid, that I want to be a hero, but I can't be because there's consequences for my action. And he just didn't have that mentality when he crossed state line with a fucking weapon to try to protect somebody else's property who probably don't even give a shit about them. It's like, you know what? I own this business. It's insured. Let them fucking burn it down. I'll just collect the money. Like,
and I'm just gonna be crystal clear. I'm not giving any benefit of the fucking doubt about, I was trying to protect prop. I'm not giving any benefit of the doubt that that's, that was exactly what was in his heart or in his head. I'm not willing to go there yet. I'm really not. All I'm going to go by is the actions that resulted in 2 people dying and 3 people getting shot.
I agree.
Yeah. His motivations and all that, for all I know and all I am concerned about, he could be a suspected white supremacist. He could be a suspected, wannabe vigilante. He could be whatever the fuck it is, but he didn't need to be there. 3 people got shot out off of his gun, and 2 people are no longer on the planet.
One thing we also gotta talk about is that, like, this motherfucker killed 2 fucking people, walked over to the police, the SWAT team, hands up in the air with a fucking weapon around his goddamn neck, and was able to go home. Like,
don't forget one other quick important fact about that, because it's all on video.
People scream.
While that was going on, people are screaming their fucking heads off, saying, "Yes, he shot 2 people. What are you doing letting him go? He's the one that shot 2 people."
And he just strolled on by like it was a fucking Wednesday, Saturday, or some shit like that. Like,
yeah.
Let it. Honestly, let it. If it was somebody that was black in the same situation, he'd have been, if not shot immediately on sight, he'd have been at least arrested. Like the best thing that would have happened is that he'd have been arrested violently.
Yeah, the best. Yeah,
and that's the best situation, if not shot on sight.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with this trial. I don't have any expectations that this is going to end in what I would think is justified or even a harsh by any objective measure sentencing. I just don't believe it. We'll see what happens. The other one that's going on is the Aubrey case as well, which also seems like there's a lot of shenanigans going on there, and that was just as ugly because the guy was, black man just jogging literally, and just gets killed, and you have the DA trying to cover it up and all this other bullshit going on with it, but or trying to blame him for being a jogger.
It's crazy because, like, this is literally proof. It's not. I want to say it's proof of fucking white whatever, but like it's almost is. This guy was literally minding his business, going out for a jog. You got some good old boys who are like, "Hey, what you doing?" And like, our property was raided and stuff like that. And like, when that incident happened, also we got fucking video footage of a construction site and had like some guy like going through there. It's like, oh, that's him. Like, that's the guy who they end up shooting or whatever. And it's like, are you serious? Like, this kid was just fucking jogging down the street, might as well got into business. And we have some good old boys that got out of the car, and they said like he threatened them, and that's the reason why they shot them. But then we have this other situation where a kid crossed state lines to help protect somebody's property, end up shooting 2 people and wounding a third. It's like, it's almost, I don't want to say they're identical, but like the storylines is very like they're similar. There's something there, and like literally how the judge or how they play out will have an impact on how, I don't know, how life is going forward, to be honest. I mean at least to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's some deep shit. It's some very deep shit that's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You should not be able to get away with killing people. Like, I mean, that's not a controversial statement at all. We'll see what happens in both cases, but it just seems like in these situations, there's not the same type of energy depending on who's doing the shooting. That's just what it is. So, it pisses me off quite a bit. I have to like dip my toe into like the news a little bit, then I just back out. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just see what happens when it's all said and done and all the smoke clears. But yeah,
Honestly,
Fuck
But
it
there's
all.
also like
go ahead.
there's also like the insurrection shit too that's going down. It's like, yeah, motherfuckers not going to jail for shit that was caught on fucking video of you breaking into the goddamn Capitol building.
So a whole bunch of
doing
like
shit.
people that did it are definitely going to jail. A whole bunch of them.
Mhm.
There's been over
Yes.
like 600 arrests, and a lot of them are going to jail.
Yes.
But the problem is that there's people that literally facilitated these issues that are going to take a lot more time to sort through, and there's a lot of high-level officials they need to be sorted through, and like you need to have a way tighter case than like an average civilian that were not on site.
You're absolutely right. Hundreds have been found. There are still some at large, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's
Yeah.
still some at large. They need to
Yeah.
capture them and toss them motherfuckers in jail too. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
me. I mean, like lately I've been, I don't like the prison industrial complex.
Mhm.
I don't appreciate like what it's been doing to like a lot of people, but these people broke some very serious fucking laws that when it comes to like somebody smoking a little bit of weed and going to jail, and somebody like literally destroying parts of a federal building to stop a process that we all voted on, those are way different sorts of crimes.
Yep.
So I don't understand why this is even a conversation. Like, motherfucker, you're literally a treasonous asshole. If this would have been like 100 years ago, you'd have been, put to death immediately. You'd have been literally killed. And I don't know
Yeah.
why people are like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we need to be so gentle about these people. They didn't know what they were
No.
doing, or they weren't really doing blah blah blah. Fuck that shit. 100 years ago, they'd have hung them. They'd have been hung
you're
or
fucking
shot.
adult.
Yeah, but they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't get it. It's like there needs to be like legit consequences for shit like this. Yeah, I get the whole argument of we need to overthrow tyrannical governments, blah 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 blah. But who the fuck is the government tyrannical to at this point in time? Let's be honest.
Fucking dude.
It's not every single person that was doing the fucking insurrection thing. Was it tyrannical towards them? How did it affect their lifestyle?
No. Not at all.
Besides their actions that they called upon themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, look, I'm with it.
Kind of similar kind of. I'm sure my mic fucking just dropped.
What the
Kind
fuck?
of taking a political look on
you broke
things.
your shit.
Yeah, I'll loosen it a little bit. It needs some gas station dick pills
Yeah,
to keep
need
it up.
some fucking Viagra. Or
Yeah.
some Rhino, yeah.
But no, so I wanted to talk a little bit on to talk about a little bit of political controversy shit. Do you guys watch the Colin Kaepernick Black and White thing
Yes.
on Netflix?
Oh yes.
I know
Definitely watched it.
I don't think we talked about it last week. But what's your guys? Have you watched it yet, Prodigy?
I've seen the first 3, maybe 4, and so far so good. I'm going a little bit slower only because now like some of my family members want to watch with me, and so I gotta like wait for these slow pokes. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so at the first like scene. Oh, hold on, so writing something down real quick. I love the scene because y'all know me long enough. Obviously, Prodigy has known me for my entire most of my life because I was born before him.
Yeah.
Just a little bit before him, but y'all know me like I was a legit athlete through like the vast majority of my lich. Especially in like junior high, like even through like elementary school. Like I broke records for like running and shit like that. I went to junior high. I got to high school. I broke records for the 40-yard dash. I broke my brother's record, which is hilarious. And every fucking year since I was in junior high, I was asked and pressured into going into football, but I didn't want to do it because of literally the issues that are in the very first episode of Colin Black and White, and I think it's called In Black and White or something like that. But it's because it seemed like super fucking like slave tradey ish to me. Like people want to know how fast I could go, how far I could jump, how long my fucking wingspan is, even though my arm span, not wingspan. you know, it was really fucking weird to me that people were like so invested in like what my physical body could do at that age and not interested in like what my mind can do. You know, they didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. They just wanted to know like how I could like make them like money. And I was like,
Yeah.
at a young age, like I was like, this is fucking weird as shit. So I'm not gonna do any of that stuff. And also, I didn't give a fuck about school when I was ever since like the first grade. Like I didn't give a fuck about school. And he literally laid out in a way that I can't. He visualizes my literal issues at a young age on video of like showing like the actual the similarities between like the slave trade and football. Like actually like when you do like the combine in football, there was legit fucking parallels that people don't get, and that most people that don't understand it, that are not athletes, then they're just like, oh well, you get paid a bunch of money, but you also sell a part of you. You're selling your fucking self to get that money.
Your fucking body.
Yeah, you're selling your body to get this
it's
money.
Prostitution.
Yeah, and they don't
In a
get
way.
it. You know, they're just like, oh, we get paid so much money, but it's like also the thing that you're selling. Look at like the CTE. You know, when it comes to like traumatic brain injuries, like the NFL covered that shit up for fucking decades, because they didn't give a goddamn fuck about people's brains, and like I think it's like 75% of the NFL are black athletes. You know, and they didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. They didn't care about like their well-being, you know, during or after their career in the NFL. They just covered
Still
it all
cover a
up.
bunch of shit.
Yeah, but to me as a young age, it just never made sense to me. Like, why am I gonna put my body on the line? My mind is way more important. And I knew even at a young age that running into somebody at going full speed for me, full speed for me is fucking fast. And if somebody's bigger than me and I'm running full speed, fast as fuck, there's no way that I'm not gonna have some sort of injury off that shit. No fucking way. Multiple times. And they don't explain that shit to you when you're playing football. They don't.
And I don't want.
Go ahead.
I don't want to be like, I don't know. I'm not a big sports fan, but like, I want to say it's almost kind of barbaric the way like a lot of players, like their attitude, like they want to go out there and like kill the motherfucker, knock him on his ass, stuff like that. But then again, you're playing a fucking sport. Like you want to be the best athlete you can, and you want to knock a motherfucker out, basically. But it still takes you back to that barbaric kind of attitude. But I don't. What do you have in your Prodigy?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go a little bit different direction, even though I agree with you guys on everything having to do with the football aspect. But the part that was striking for me was about his hair. And
Dude, that's
he took so much. Well, he took so much influence from one of my favorite players. Yeah, one of my favorite players in the late '90s, early 2000s, which was Allen Iverson. And they just he talked about very honestly, and it was 20 years ago, so some young people may not even get this. But yeah, the entire NBA changed because this man, who was the MVP of the league and one of the most popular players, had long cornrows and got his hair braided, and that look that was influenced by hip hop and everything was deemed as dangerous, as rebellious, as thuggish, and all this other stuff. And so all of the kids imitating Allen Iverson were also cast under that broad brush. And then I just remember being, young and seeing, someone with either cornrows or braids or dreads or whatever.
Same here, man.
And they would get stigmatized. You know what I mean? You're already going to be stigmatized as a black male, black male teenager, of course. But that aspect of it was really, really striking to me. And I thought they did a great job, Ava DuVernay and Colin and whatnot, of just kind of expressing you're young, you feel invincible, you feel like you look really, really good with your hairstyle. And because the mainstream, even your, adopted parents or whatever, don't like black hair or, especially longer black hair, they made new rules on the baseball team for you to cut it. They, gave you a hard time in other aspects of school life, all because of your hairstyle. Meanwhile, plenty of non-black boys, you know,
The shit
with
was past
long
the
hair
shoulders.
or different other hairstyles, didn't encounter any of that. And so that's one of the things that really struck out with me in the first couple of episodes.
Well, kind of piggyback on what you said. Like it was a long time that I thought, like, you know, having cornrows, having dreads, like not having your hair short, I would look at that as like, okay, that's not professional. Like I have family members that would have their hair that way. I'm like, dude, like you're not even gonna fucking job and stuff like that. And it's like why did I think that way? And it's mainly just because fucking media told me that's how it was. Like, you know, you're black, your hair's nappy, you're not gonna get a fucking job. You got to keep your shit short, clean shave, and blah blah blah. And there's actually so the company I work for, and one of our ethnic training things that we did, there's there's a black guy talking to a white guy, and it's fucking intriguing how the conversation goes down. I'm like, holy shit, like they really have this on there. But yeah, I mean, it's media has a really big impact on how we all think, and like, you know, seeing so like for example, we talked about The Harder They Fall. Like everybody hair on there was like pretty fucking natural, and they all seem fucking cool. And I think that's what we need. We need to see that black folks' hair, black folks' hair is probably the best hair that you could have, because that shit is a fucking canvas. You can do whatever the fuck. You can straighten your hair. Your hair can be straight as a white person hair. Your shit can be fucking curly. You can fucking put that shit in all kind of different ways. Like, I think people put their hair up like fucking Goku from fucking Dragon Ball. Like, black folks' hair is so moldable. Like, there's so much fucking shit you can do with black people hair. You can, it's almost endless. Like, I remember when I went to Japan. So, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how I went to Japan. I went to Japan and I got my hair, like my hair is like super curly, whatever, right? No, I wasn't drunk at this time, but no. So I got my hair straightened in Japan. I got a Brazilian blowout. Yeah, I got a Brazilian blowout in Japan. It's so fucking random. A black guy in Japan got a Brazilian blowout. So, and Japanese guy was like, yo, man, I don't think this is gonna fucking work. Like, I never done this before on a black guy's hair. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like, well, just do it. If I don't like it, you can just fucking cut it. I didn't care at the moment. Like, I was just out there experiencing the culture. And the guy did my hair. This was probably like a good 3, maybe. It was probably close to 3 hours job, and my shit was luscious. Like, I was so glowing in. My hair was fucking straight as hell, soft as fuck. I didn't get the fucking the Malcolm X fucking scalp burn or anything. Like, my shit was on point. Like, shit was, my hair was fucking luscious. And the guy was like, he's like, holy shit, this fucking worked. Like, he was super fucking. I'm pretty sure this guy is probably making millions of dollars right now in Japan doing black folks' hair.
Black people, I love you.
Yeah. But no, like, the guy was super concerned about it. But like, yeah, like, black folks are, man, we can do so much fucking shit with our hair. Like, my son now, like, he's a mix of black and Mexican, and like, his shit's just super fucking curly. Like, it's up there with like Shirley Temple type curly. But like, you know, black folks, our hair is just, it's adaptable. That's what I gotta say. Like, if we want our hair to be a certain way, it can be that way. Like, I think the person who invented the relaxer was a black woman, and she was like the first black millionaire.
Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah,
yes,
but
there we
nowadays
go.
it's been like co-opted by a bunch of like white people. I'm gonna unedit myself for a few minutes here. Is that a lot of the black haircare industry has been co-opted by white people that don't understand how black hair actually works. And when it comes to like relaxers and perms and shit like that, like, there's been a legit concern about like what chemicals are in these things, and like there's been a measurable influence on like black haircare products and cancer when it comes to like relaxers, like back in the day. And like, people just want to ignore that shit. It's like, we're literally killing ourselves to look more presentable to white people. And let me rewind just a little bit.
What's that, hot comb?
Because I want to. I'm embarrassed, but I will be truthful in my embarrassment. Because my stepsister, I'm not gonna say her name, but I'll link this part of the podcast to her. She posted something. She posted a link about this is years ago before I understood things about black women being the black women's hair being scrutinized in at work, and I was like, well, if you keep it nice and neat, you'll be fine. Like, what the fuck? Like, I keep my hair nice and neat, but my hair nice and neat is look at my hair. I mean, my hair is nice and neat, and it's fucking gone. This is my nice and neat hair. This is.
You're all bald.
And then, like,
the bald cast.
Years later, I thought about my comment that I made on that, and it was honestly, today it's a disgusting comment that I made to say that yeah, have your hair nice and neat. But what the fuck does nice and neat mean? Like, exactly. It literally means that it's acceptable towards white people. Mm-hmm. And then I had to remember in my mind, like, why did I start cutting my hair like so short? Remember, I got out of the Marine Corps, and then I started growing a fro. But every morning I had to get up, and what I had to do, pick my fro and make it look nice and presentable. But who the fuck does it make it nice and presentable for? It's for fucking white people. Like, if it was around like black folks, I could have probably come in the office with semi messy hair. It'd have been fine. But at the meantime, the same time where I would get up in the morning and like literally pick my fro out, my mini fro out to get to work for minutes, or sometimes more than like tens of minutes to like get it presentable. These motherfuckers are just coming to work, their hair just like looking how they wanted, messy as fuck. I remember there was a manager that was there. He smelled his hygiene was so bad when he walked into a room. God. I could fucking smell his rankness, and when like it was disgusting. And like when somebody would talk to me like, oh well, that's just the way he is because he used to live in Europe, and he's trying to do the European thing. I was like, he smells fucking gross. Like, I don't want him anywhere around me. Like, it's literally disgusting the way this guy smells. Now, I'm not exaggerating. He smelled like fucking death because he put on no deodorant. I have no idea when he normally showered or bathed or whatever, but he just smelled fucking gross. But it was totally acceptable for this dude to literally funk up an entire fucking room or office, but me to go every morning to make my hair more presentable, and the guy was white. For me to make my hair more presentable for white people, but at the same time, this guy could smell disgusting as fuck at the same job, and he didn't have his hair fucking done either. Did he spend time on his hair in the morning? No, the fuck he didn't. And what did I do? I cut my hair. I was like, it's just too much fucking work. Meanwhile, this guy who did literally no work on his hygiene, no work on his hair, he's a director, or I think he was a VP or director, something like that. He was fine. He's a highly paid guy. Everybody accepted him. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there in shame, cutting my hair, thinking that, I can't have my hair messy. And this is like the real plight of black people. I think it's more a plight of black women, because for me to shave my head, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But for a black woman to cut their hair, it's a huge deal. It's like when we cut our hair, we're literally removing part of our culture from our bodies. And as an older guy, as a martial artist, I have some more excuse because I don't want somebody to grab my hair. Obviously I have a beard, but if somebody can grab my beard, they're in front of me, so I can get to them. But from behind me, if I have long hair, that's an issue. But when it comes to like just generally growing your hair, you're cutting off part of your culture. And it took me a long time, like literally, I think it was like, this is 2021, last year, when I was 40 years old, as a grown-ass fucking
Same
man,
here.
to understand that shit. That I'm literally doing things to be more pleasing to white people.
You see it in a lot of those schools for Native Americans in like North America and on reservations here in America and whatnot too. Or I'm sorry, I'm talking about Canada and in continental America, where you would take these quote unquote native children, or they would call them a lot of derogatory names, but native children,
savages.
Yeah, and the shaving of their long hair that had cultural significance, or some of the jewelry or things that they would have over their face, or what things that had cultural significance were just completely stripped away. And it was part of colonialism. It was part of, white supremacy, and part of a whole lot of other things. And here we are in 2021, and everybody thinks that stuff is so distant, which it really
It's
isn't.
not.
But you have remnants of that, and getting back to this Colin series, it kind of encapsulated all of that really, really well in just here's some really great athlete that idolizes a basketball player who seems cool and has cornrows, and it's like, oh, I want to do my hair like that, and his friend is already doing his hair like that, and he was still the same athlete, still the same student and everything, a smart kid, really good athlete.
Nothing
But
fucking changed.
just because his hair was a different style based on liking this basketball player, Allen Iverson. Coaches didn't like him. Coaches wanted him to cut his hair. His adopted parents were like, you're spending too much time focused on your hair, and that's brain. What do you call it? Like it's a brain drain or some shit. Making up all these other nonsense rules just because a teenager who's, again, teenagers aren't supposed to be professional. They're not professional anything.
I'm super influenced myself.
This is the problem that as an athlete, when I was I'm still an athlete, but at that age, especially as like a young athlete, they treat you as an adult, and it's just like you're not I wasn't an adult. Like, stop putting these things on me as if I had all my faculties with me. As if I had like an actual legitimate opinion on things. So that's why I remove myself from the whole situation. It's just like, you guys, you're treating me like this, but also you want to steal from me, because that's literally what they're doing. They're stealing from my talent. That's what they want to do is literally steal from my talent to make money, and it's fucking disgusting. And then when you bring up when you bring up it's like a slave thing. Like, oh well, you're gonna get paid money. No, motherfucker. I'm like, it's an empty promise. Like, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but 100%. If I get injured doing this thing, my coach will still get paid millions. Especially in college.
Let's be really, really clear. Less than 1% of 1% of 1% become professional athletes.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
It's extremely rare. So when you talk about millions of dollars, that's like almost nobody plays professional football, professional basketball, professional anything from an athletic standpoint. So high school, college, even the minor leagues for baseball and basketball, you don't get paid much, if any. You know what I mean? And so you got to just keep all of that in mind. And at the same time, again, your brain hasn't fully formed. And so you wanting to look cool with, different hairstyle, it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't change the fact that, you did well on your SATs, or it doesn't change the fact that, you're able to, run a 40-yard dash really well, or
speak words correctly.
And the other thing I found fascinating, and I love this just from a sports junkie standpoint, was they talked about quarterbacks and just how that position has been over stigmatized with just blatant anti-black athlete. You got a league that's 70% black, and then at the same time, even if you are doing a vastly superior job in practice and on the JV team or the freshman team or whatever, if you don't look like the quote-unquote prototype white quarterback, you may not be able to play that position despite being better.
But I feel like
that was a very important point.
5 black quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, even before we talk about the black quarterbacks, when I was watching it with K-Mac, my partner, who's white, Caucasian, whatever you want to say,
female.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's female.
Well, you got to throw it out there nowadays, because
when I say partner, that's a weird thing about saying partner, because I'm not married. Because when I say partner, people think I'm gay. Just no, that's weird to me. Is people assume that I'm gay. If I say partner, but it's my partner is a female. So, anyway, I paused it and I was like, I can guarantee you what they're going to say about him as a quarterback. They're going to say that he he doesn't command the field. They're going to basically make comments on his intelligence. Doesn't command the field. He doesn't understand what's going on. You know what I mean? They're going to make all these nebulous comments about basically everything that comes down to his intelligence. And literally I'm pausing, and that's literally what they did. Because that's what happens to every single NFL quarterback that's black. today. They still will make comments like these super racist comments on their intelligence. And so my honest issue with Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback, black, white, whatever, was that he was a running quarterback. And I was like, as a running quarterback, he will never win a Super Bowl. I was like, he needs and when people are like, well, what the fuck? Like, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, listen.
Did he win some?
No, he didn't. Steve Young was also a running quarterback when he was younger. And when he learned how to actually, when he took time and actually, got to stand in the pocket and throw the ball, that's when he became a great quarterback. You know what I mean? But it has nothing to do with like ethnicities. But if you're running as a quarterback, it also has to do with like having a good line. Like if you have a fucking shitty line, it doesn't matter if you're fucking Joe Montana, like or Brett Favre or fucking the other asshole from the Patriots, whatever his name is. I'm just saying, if you have a shitty line, it doesn't really matter how good you are as a quarterback if you have to constantly run. You know what I mean? So there's a combination of things. But yeah, it's usually they insult the black quarterback's intelligence, and it goes back to like Warren Moon, even before Warren Moon, just insulting his general intelligence. So I'm like, this shit isn't hard to understand. If the fucking fans can understand, formations and shit like that, how do you think that a person that's literally paid to do that job, that he can't understand it? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Kind of wanted to say about the whole entire series. Like, it was like watching it, like being a person of color, like you knew what the fuck was going to happen. But some of the stuff I felt was a little over dramatized.
Yes.
But then again, it's like, it's different for every fucking folks. Like everybody's story is a little different here and there. But like the one take I loved when I first saw this scene, I was like, oh shit, I gotta talk about this shit on a fucking podcast. So it's when Colin went to pick up his prom date. And not prom, it wasn't prom, it was like homecoming or something like that. It wasn't some super formal thing.
Yeah.
But it was homecoming. And he was picking up his black girlfriend. And he went to a black family. And shout out to if you ever watched Friday, homegirl that played Craig's girlfriend. She plays the auntie.
I was saying, she looks
She
familiar.
plays the auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays the auntie. She's like, oh, honey, you did come in here having some of this food. That's like I was like, she looks familiar. That's homegirl. That's Craig's girlfriend for fucking Friday. And so I looked it up. It's fucking her. But yeah, so there's a scene where like, oh, you want some food, honey? And he's like, oh yeah, I want some food. So he's like making a plate, and he's like, oh, he's like, you want some pie? He's like, oh, I love pumpkin pie. Or he's like, I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And like, 4 people in the room was like, honey, what?
Yeah.
And like, this is sweet potato pie. And he's like, wait, what? But no, that was my favorite scene in the entire series. But like overall, like, just to see, we got to see him like go from like he grew up he grew up with white parents, so he had the ideology that like how things happen for his parents would trickle down to him, and we learned that that's not the case. Like there's like the scene where he's driving with his parents. His dad drives the same fucking road every fucking time. He drives it, gets fucking pulled over, and he gets a warning for speeding. Then like there's times where he's in a hotel where it's like, hey, like you can't have a second scoop of ice cream, and he's like, well, this other kid did, and the other kid goes like, well, I have my second, I'm gonna go for my third and fourth. And you thought this kid who's on his team was like, hey man, I'll get your ice cream and I'll bring one over to you. He's like, well, fuck you, dude, I'm gonna get my third and fourth ice cream. But there's like a scene where like we have like a woman that's like, I mean, growing up as a kid, like, I mean, even to this day, even with the sweetness, I talk about this, like, it's hard for me to walk around a store and I can't like pick something up and like, I don't know, like put it into like some kind of, if it's not a shopping cart that the cameras can see, like I have worry about it. Like, they're going to think I'm stealing this and blah, blah. Where the sweetness is like, oh, I'm going to put this in my bag real quick because I'm paying for it later. It's weird. Like, it's hard for people to understand, like, being a person of color, even to this day, going to places and not worrying about, like, somebody following you, watching you to see what you're doing, what you're watching, what you're looking at, it's the stigma is still fucking there. Even though we're in our 40s, like the stigma is still there. Even though like as a kid, like I was like, okay, this is whatever. It's not. This is going to change and blah blah. We have this situation going on. The feeling is still there. It's just that you don't have that little Asian lady watching you from the corner. It's that camera or some shit watching you. But overall, with the Colin Kaepernick story, it was fun to watch. Some scenes were dramatized.
Sure.
Yeah. But then again, once it came to the black girl that he dated, like, once again it kind of touched on that base, like how like even the black kid was like, oh, she's too black for you and this and that. Even the parents were like, oh, you shouldn't date her. Like this, we got this pretty little white girl that you can date and stuff like that. It's like this girl looked like she was like a young Janet Jackson, which was like back in our days, she was the fucking sculpture of being fucking fine.
Walked out the car looking like Freddie Jackson. Sorry.
Yeah, right. No, but this girl, she looked like Janet Jackson from the time she got out of the car to the time, blah blah blah. But like, it's weird how times have changed on the state of beauty, and I don't know. The show really touched on a bunch of those little topics.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that when they were driving in, like going to games, I was like, I've been on that freeway they were on before. I'm pretty sure it was the 138, and it's like one of the most dangerous freeways to drive in America. Like, it's only because like, so there's a friend of mine actually from the Marine Corps. Her name is April, and she lived in Palmdale. I went to a few parties that were in Palmdale. And one of them was like a dope. Anyway, the party doesn't fucking matter. The highway that we went on, there was like all these signs of like lawyers hate like 138 or people hate 138 or some shit like that. And I was like, why are all these signs about this dangerous ass highway? And then as I was driving, I was like, oh, it's because like sometimes it goes up and down, and people will try to pass on the down, and then they will get hit on the way up. And they weren't like super deep, but it was just like just the natural formation of the land.
Yeah.
And people would just like they would get high or drunk or whatever and just drive fast as fuck on these things and just like pass on a double yellow and try to come around and then get hit by a car on the incoming lane.
All bad.
And that, like, literally, I was watching, I was like, I've been on these fucking freeways before.
Good shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, I need to finish that one off. I'm impressed by it so far. I'm watching it with my son, which is really interesting because, obviously he's of that age where he's, wanting to dress how he wants to dress a little bit more and, have his hair how he wants to have his hair. And so... interesting, all the way around. Interesting, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked about the episode, the series, because it has very mixed or negative reviews on from most people, and it's just like, I understand that some of it's sort of campy, some of it is probably some embellishment, but there's a lot of shit that is 100% like legit, and that people would just overlook for the sake of contrarianism, like, really. And it's just like, man, if you haven't lived that life, if you haven't seen like those hungry eyes, as you like seeing you as like literally a body and not like a person, like that's like you don't get it,
Mm-hmm.
One quick thing. So when Kaepernick got his hair braided for the first time, he got the cornrows. I was like, when he was like, "Oh shit, is this supposed to hurt?" I'm like, "Oh, that baby's tender-headed." I'm like, and the sweetness was like, "What the hell does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh shit, how do I explain this?" Basically, it hurts when he gets his hair braided. Like, there's some people who can take it, but if you're tender-headed, like you can't fucking take that shit. Like, that shit's on a whole different level.
So let me so obviously I was thinking the tender-headed thing too, but obviously his scalp was actually
everybody fucking tender-headed.
It's like no. I mean, I've had my hair put up before, and it's like I had somebody that did it way too tight, and my scalp started bleeding. And there's things you can do to like kind of like help with that. You can moisturize your scalp, blah blah blah. But if nobody explains it to you, you're definitely gonna have fucking tearing shit. But even beyond that, it's that there are some people that they don't care that your skin is getting pulled so tight. It's like you don't have to do it that tight. This is actually one of the positives with having a less melanated partner doing my definitely melanated daughter's hair is that she listens to her when she says this hurts. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Black families that are like,
they don't give a
shut
fuck.
up.
Yeah. Like if she says it hurts, like it hurts. And yeah, there are sometimes as a parent where kids say like, you know, something hurts and maybe it doesn't hurt. But there's times where like if you're doing their hair and you're like pulling it, if you're pulling too hard, like if they say it hurts, why are you gonna keep pulling hard? Like just do it a little bit less. I don't understand. Like you know, I also think that also leads into some definite hair psychological issues with kids with African hair. Is that when you're trying to get these hairstyles in and you're like your first experience is somebody pulling hard as fuck on all your follicles in your hair and your scalp literally is damaged and it hurts. Like why would you want to do that again? Like seriously, like why would you want to do that again? And so we're trying to give, you know, our youngest daughter like the most positive experience with her hair. So I want her to love her hair. I don't want to ever straighten her hair. Like I want her to love the way that her hair is, and we do only African styles with her hair. And so we tell her like, hey, your hair is beautiful. Like, how do you want to do it? When she says like, oh, I want my hair like from Frozen or something like that. Like we adapt. When I say when it comes to hairstyles like that, it's 100% my partner came back. She comes up with a style that is African style that looks like that style. We don't straighten her hair to look like that style. And I think that's more appropriate for kids. So she has like that actual conscious thing of like her hair, that's the way it is. And, you know, and I think that
that's cool.
People need to like understand that. Like, leave room for your kids to love themselves in their bodies the way that they are. So,
no, that's a good message.
That's a very good message.
Guys, it's getting a little late though. Should we wrap it?
Is this like the least amount of subjects we probably ever talked about on a podcast?
Yeah, it is. Holy shit!
It's like only a couple. So I guess Double Tank, you got an easy job. Just saying.
Shout out to that dude. Shout out to that guy for constantly every week he was able to pick the time stamp for episodes, and you know he thinks I'm funny, so extra bonus points for that dude.
Hell yeah.
Well,
he hasn't thrown a chair at you yet, Blue.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny is that, you know, we were all friends, like me, Blue, and him, and a couple of friends. We're like really close together in high school. So
that's good shit, man. Yeah. All right, Blue, what you got populating this week? God damn it.
Shit, man. I'm looking. So actually, I posted up this. So I had a friend post up this Facebook thing where it's like, you know, the last couple of years been kind of crazy with the pandemic and stuff like that. Like, you know, send me a Christmas card and send me your favorite fucking recipe. Like that's all that you need to do. Send me a cool little family Christmas card and recipe, your favorite food recipe to me, so I can add that to my recipe repertoire, whatever not. And it's like an exchange thing, which I think is kind of cool. So I actually posted on my Facebook too. So I'm not gonna give out my secret to my sweet potato pie, but I have some other cool.
We got it though.
You guys got a version of it.
But 100%. Hold on, before you finish your story, I need to get at least one or two, like 2 or maybe 3 of your sweet potato pies before Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's about that time I start whipping them up, and plus I got a little Sebby J. I gotta introduce him to those. This kid.
Go ahead.
This kid loves sweet potatoes, so
I fucked up a couple of years where I tried to ask you, and you were just like, "Yeah, you got shit." So I'm like, "All right." I'm asking you now.
Well, yeah, dude, the demand was insane. Like, holy shit! Like, you think fucking trying to order a PS5 was hard to get? Like, last year was rough. No, I'm just fucking pushing, but no, but overall, I just think that's a cool idea. Like, you know, just a bunch of friends swiping like your favorite recipe. Like, I have a friend. It's like, you know, I got this cool bean casserole recipe. I got a few other friends that just hit me with some cool recipe. But I'm looking forward to that. Like, I want to try, because there's stuff you can find on the internet, but they're just like that craft, that thing that you were like, because I know, like, for example, like, Cronus had this, like, pulled pork thing that he used to do for ethnic food night, which was fucking
I think Prodigy,
Like
Prodigy got me on that shit, and I just kind of ran with it. I'm just like, I can put
it's
booze
yours
in this?
now.
Like, I can put booze in this? So I was like, all right, cool.
No, sorry. My favorite thing about telling you the recipe was do whatever you want. Just put whatever you like in it.
That's what I did.
Yeah, like I remember Cronus. Like I went over to Cronus' place one time, and he was just fucking just shredding the fucking pork. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing? I was like, this is for FSU night. It was that shit was probably like the best part of FSU night. Like that was the signature dish. That ethnic food night.
Ethnic food night is coming back next year.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I don't care where we all are.
But, okay.
Let's just, we gotta do it. We gotta bring it back. I miss like having all the friends over and like being together and like eating.
And choking motherfuckers out.
yeah, choking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
But
no, then fucking Cake Man. Like the reason why Cake Man name is Cake Man is because he had that fucking Midori fucking cake, and like if. Like the guy had to literally bring 2 fucking cakes. And he had to hide the second one because the first one would just fucking get devoured by
anybody.
What's her name? No, it wasn't anybody, but it was Grace. Grace would destroy the fuck out of the cake. But no, like I just think this whole thing is kind of cool because lately the Sweetness and I have been trying to save money, so we're cooking more at home, stuff like that, and we're introducing Sebi to different kind of foods. Oh shit. I might just hear my dog run outside, but a little Sebi's gonna be turning 8 months soon, which is fucking ridiculous. He's like 3/4 of the way to being 1 fucking years old, but like this kid, goddamn, like he's saying Dada and Mama, and it's like he's not saying it to like get our attention, but he's like the words are coming out of his fucking mouth. I'm like, yo, man, like holy shit, just chill. But
no,
he's like,
you can't. You gotta read the Absorbent Mind by Maria Montessori.
Oh yeah,
just keep talking.
Yeah,
to
so it was so like Carlos mentioned, like Montessori, like I'm literally talking back to him. I'm using the word, whatever words he says, I say it back to him. He's not using any kind of like baby toys. Like he's using like. I mean, he for like eating, he's using like a spoon and fork, and he's got like a glass. But it's like he's not using like a sippy cup or anything like that. He's using like a full fucking adult glass to drink water out of. He's not eating. He doesn't have like we'll give him like parade food for like daycare and stuff like that. But when he's at home, he's eating like solid foods. Like he only has 2 teeth, and this little kid is fucking chewing. Like he'll sit there, take a bite of something, and sit there and chew it. And like swallow it. Like there's been like we have like a first aid kit on set, like in case he's choking, so we can like get like to prevent him from choking. But he's like, if he's choking on something, he'll like and spit that shit back out. Like the kid, he fucking knows, which is like mind blowing. Like he'll take a big chunk of something and chew on it, and if it's too big for him, he'll spit it out. He won't like try to swallow it. He'll just fucking spit it out like I can't do this shit. And then he'll grab it and put it back in his mouth so he can get like smaller bites.
Honestly, but like, with all the education that I've been learning recently, I think it's almost like I almost want another kid just to like see how much better I could do with another kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I have so much more knowledge now.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So when I actually went to school to become a teacher, and like one of the curriculums that I took was for Montessori, and like the shit that you learned in there is like holy shit. Like kids are just little fucking adults. They don't need this fucking like baby shit. They don't need like teaspoons and like small shit like that. Like our son right now, he has a full size bed, but it's on the floor, and it's that way. So like if he crawls out of the bed, like he just will end up on the floor. But like as he's more developed in life, he gets understanding about his own environment. So if he want to get out of bed, he can just crawl out of bed and just play with the toys. And he learns that like this is my world. And when mommy and daddy comes, like I know that okay, it's time for me to interact with the rest of the world. But this environment here is my world. It was crazy because the whole Montessori thing was developed for underprivileged kids, for like the ghettos. Like it's like for people who are poor, but like if you try to find like a daycare that is Montessori, it's like it's super fucking expensive, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to find a different. I might try to find a different because Riley's in a Montessori school, but it's like it's the American style of Montessori. So I'm gonna talk to K-Mac. I'm like, I don't, because she doesn't. she used to like it, but there's things they're doing in the school where she doesn't like, and I'm just like, this is not the real Montessori thing. So maybe I'll try to find like a different Montessori school for her to go to that's like more towards the Montessori, like legit curriculum.
It's actually kind of cool. A friend of ours, but I'm gonna. Apparently, she went to a Montessori school before she started to go to middle school, which I think it's kind of cool. But what else I gotta do this weekend? I don't know. That's about it. I know following weekend I'm going to another party. It might be our second party without the little one, but I don't know. Life is different with a kid. That's all I gotta say. Oh no. Next week, the company I work for, it's mandatory for us to start going back into the office, which is kind of shitty.
Holy shit!
They say mandatory, but my manager was like, "Yo, man, you can work from home like a couple of days a week, but you know, just make an appearance." I'm like, "Okay, cool." But it's like it's sad too because like 2 days ago, somebody tested positive for COVID, and it's like, yeah, bro, I don't know if I'll be in the office, but I'll swipe my badge and then go back home.
I hear you.
What you got going on?
What you got?
Yeah, honestly, I had a really fun night last night with talking to my fellow Marines for the Marine Corps birthday. I learned a lot. I got to meet some new people. I literally kept the video chat open for like probably 16 hours. I wasn't on for those 16 hours, but I should have recorded it because there was like part of it because I had to like make dinner and like hang out with the kid and came back for a little bit, for a couple hours. But I wish I recorded to see what happened like after, because it was like the prime time is when I had to go. It was like at like I think it was like 6 to like 8. I had to like do fatherly duties and it was cool. But we still had a really good conversation. And I don't know, talking to Papa Bear, he has like this whole business plan on how to hopefully end homelessness, and he's taking input from me because like we were talking about it, and he's like, what are your major concerns about homelessness and like how to, because it's like for us it's like it's a thing because he used to be homeless before he joined the Marine Corps, and he really wants to do this. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna help you, and whatever way I can. And he sent me the business plan. I haven't got a chance to read the whole thing yet, but we've talked about it. I'm like, I'm in. Like, let's do this shit. So hopefully we can do we can make the planet better for people. Like, if anything, like just that small thing of just like helping somebody suffer less, it will be a huge accomplishment in my life. So,
but then, to be honest, like we got some big time people out there who went from 0 to like 100 real quick. Like the creator of the Harry Potter franchise, like she talked about how she was homeless. Even his franchise is horrible, but Tyler Perry, like he went from being homeless to being like a big time director. So to see somebody to go from one caliber to another,
so that's 2 people out of what, 7 million people. Those are terrible odds. I'm just saying.
They're terrible odds. But I guess it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done.
But it's still horrible.
Yeah, there's terrible odds. I think that most people, when we talk about even the American dream, everybody's just like, oh, got the American dream, blah, blah, blah. But like, listen, the vast majority, if not, I would say the vast majority, probably like 95% of the billionaires in America had a head start. They had a head start. If you look at Jeff Bezos, he got a $300,000 fucking loan from somebody in his family.
His mom.
Bill Gates was, his family was already wealthy. The Berkshire guy, Warren Buffett, Zuck, same thing. They all had head starts. So for people to sit there as like a normal person, where your parents are normal people, they're not rich, to be there like, I'm gonna do the American dream. It's like all of them that you're looking up to, they already had a head start. You didn't. Yep. So if you want to keep trying to do it, you definitely keep trying, but just recognize that it's not the fact that it was just all through hard work. It wasn't fucking hard work. They started at if you're looking at a football field, they started at the 2-yard line, and you're starting at the 102-yard line. Like, good luck catching up.
The other thing that really always strikes me with the whole hard work thing is you're kind of implying in a very fucked up, subtle way that someone who picks grapes or strawberries isn't a hard worker.
Yeah. Like this ain't hard. Like it's way easier
Yeah.
for somebody that's been living a life of luxury. Like Bill Gates is literally the perfect example. Actually, yeah, Bill Gates is probably the perfect example. He's never been in poverty ever. And yes, he has altruistic, he tries to do certain altruistic things that are maybe questionable if you're in QAnon. I don't know, but still, he definitely had a leg up on all of us. Did the guy ever do manual labor in his life? No, he didn't at all. Neither did all of his friends. Neither did, most of these billionaires. They never worked a hard day in their life. Their hard day is figuring out how to make more money from a comfortable spot. Understand that.
Yeah.
They didn't live in a world where, where's my next meal gonna come from?
Well, and not to get on my soapbox either, but the other thing is, yes, it's wonderful to have money. I get all of that, but at the same time, it really isn't the end all be all of everything. Your family, your health, what type of person you are, you know what I mean? Your legacy and what you instill in your kids. I mean, these things are, they sound all touchy-feely or whatever, but they're really fucking important and foundational.
Yeah. Is it Bill Gates like, you know what? Fuck you kids. Like, you're not getting my their inheritance is like, I think they're getting like 100,000 or some shit like that. They're not getting his fortune or some shit like that, right?
I'll believe that when he dies.
Yeah.
And I believe that when his kids are already living a lavish lifestyle. So I don't believe any of that bullshit. Like, both my parents are dead. For my dad, I got literally $50,000. My mom, I didn't get shit. So, like, these are the things that we're talking about when it comes to like generational wealth that I don't have access to, and most black people don't have access to. So, and it's an issue that people are just like, well, why don't you just try harder? It's not about fucking trying harder. It's about wealth was stolen from people that look like me, and it keeps just rolling down the fucking hill.
Yeah. And it's even sad because some of the, God, I know we're trying to wrap it up, but like, we have black folks, we have family members that would try to steal that money. Like, if somebody comes up, there's always that family or member or something like that. They're trying to keep that money from everybody else. Like, they just
it's crap mentality.
hoard it, which is,
I get that, but
it's fucking sad. It's very fucking sad.
But it's also
and,
like
I experienced it on both sides of my family.
If you use it's the issue with scarcity and abundance, which that's a whole different. And I'm fucking stop. Anyway,
let's get out of here.
I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, go ahead. Prodigy, take us out.
For me, and I'm going to be really brief. I'm maybe one of the few One Piece weebs that maybe is kind of okay with this live action. It looks like they at least got Nami and Luffy right. We'll see if they do this live action one series correct. I don't have high expectations that it's going to be really good, but at least Oda Sensei has given his official sense of approval or stamp of approval. We'll fucking see. I'm hoping that we turn the corner and more live action anime adaptations are good. We'll see. And other than that, man, I'm going to finish up Arcane and this Colin series and just try to get as caught up as I can. I even want to try Why the Last Man and all of that stuff, man. So I hope we get a full cast on next week. Oh, and then I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing Kronos in a couple weeks.
Yes,
right?
I'll definitely be there on site.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna do a bunch of. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see Papa Bear for the first time ever. We've never actually met in person.
Oh shit! I didn't know
so I'm gonna see him.
Is he in SoCal, right?
Yeah, he lives in Yucca Valley, which is kind of far. We're gonna try to meet halfway between like Chula Vista and Yucca Valley, because that's like the fucking high desert. So I'm not trying to drive that far, but we'll meet halfway, have some drinks.
Should we have him on the main podcast? Like, would he bring any like, I guess, how's his dirt cred?
It's legit.
Or is it more like
100% legit? This dude. So when we do a podcast and you look in his background, it's all fucking Lego.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he's always in the chat room, so
Yeah.
maybe we should have him as a guest one day.
We could definitely
Or like
have, we could definitely have him on because like beyond like the Lego stuff, he literally teaches Marines nerd
I
shit.
fucking love Legos.
Like
That's dope.
so McSess is literally like the communication schools for the Marine Corps, and he teaches basically like just a bunch of computer shit to people, and he oversees all of it,
God.
and he's trying to change it. So yeah, his nerd cred is beyond reproach.
I actually haven't taken a picture of Lego Batman in fucking a couple of years now. So this is if you I have an Instagram account for this called Lego or
Lego Batman, yeah.
no, it's not Lego Batman. It's Tiny Batman Adventures.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
and I haven't. Wow, this is actually fun fact. This is actually my second Lego Batman. The first one,
Lost
it got faded.
Oh,
I didn't lose it. No, he started getting faded from the pictures and shit I was taking.
was he drunk? He got faded.
Yeah, he got high. I was taking a picture in Oakland. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm not going back."
All right. I'm gonna take us out. Check us out on all the interwebs, Amazon, Stitcher FM, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever the fuck you find Beat and BTI and all that good shit.
Back to back times infinity, baby.
Yeah, man. We back up in here. Everybody enjoy your goddamn November. But remember to nut. Don't do that no nut. Not all up in her.
What's disturbing to me is that people that have a significant other, they're like, I'm gonna do no November. I'm like, okay. Like, I guess you want to make them angry and not fuck you anymore. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, bust your nuts.
Your decision affects more than just one person.
Yeah.
Use the Balldo.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that.
All right. Peace.
Out of here.